Greetings and salutations, and welcome to Flintlocks and Fireballs, where a handful of mad actors will attempt to survive the endless void that is Dungeons and Dragons.
Yay!
I am your host and Dungeon Master Jason Phelps, and I am joined, as ever, by Robbie. I am vengeance. I am the night. Bellekom. Sam. My parents are dead. And Ellie, I can breathe in space. Sparrow. It is a joke from the comic Short Pact from like fucking 15 years ago. God, I'm a nerd. About how one of the Batman action figures. Space helmet just doesn't cover the top of his head. It's like an interaction between Superman and
well, he can
and Batman is like, right now, Batman, great candor, Batman. Your space helmet doesn't cover your head. I'm Batman, and I can breathe in space.
That's super dumb.
That's brilliant. Also, Jason, I think the cat was out of the bag a long time ago with the nerd thing. Just saying.
I mean, what are we doing right now?
Something incredibly mainstream and non-nerdy.
Yeah, this is fine.
Speaking of pulling cats out of the bag, it's time to pull some present cats out of the messages out of the bag of the future and demand future us what messages from the present. It's Future Jason with messages from the present. This episode of Flintlocks and Fireballs is brought to you by you. As ever, a massive thanks to our crew members on the Flintlocks Patreon who help keep this ship sailing. There's a wealth of extra content and bonus features for patrons, including regular blog posts, extra stories narrated by the cast, artwork, and a monthly poll for the community to help design an element to go into the game. You can check it out at patreon.com/Flintlocks and Fireballs, link in the description. We are an affiliate of dnddice.com, makers of beautiful specialty dice since 2010. Whether you need dice because you're masquerading as a vampire, calling Cthulhu, or are some sort of Pathfinder gathering the magic munchkins, you can click through our affiliate link in the description and grab yourself or a friend some particularly sexy dice or a particularly sexy leather dice bag. We are also an affiliate of Zavvi, fine producers of nerdy garments and handy household items. Remember, you can click through the affiliate link in the description and use code FLINTLOCKS20 to take 20% off clothing and FLINTLOCKS10 to take 10% off not clothing. And that's it for announcements this time. Back to you, Past Jason.
A gift. It's present cat.
Oh.
Oh.
Now I'm thinking about the Batman musical and I can't stop. I just need everyone else to know so that you can all have the songs in your head with me and also suffer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wanna be somebody's buddy. That one.
Yeah.
Anyway, to avoid breaching copyright,
It was less than 6 seconds. Wasn't it?
oh, fine. We shall move steadfastly onwards to begin, Flintlocks and Fireballs. Our land stands on the sabre's edge.
Our cities are a powder keg.
Brother chains, brother, no one's free. A life on land is short, you'll see.
So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinea. No kraken, storm or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.
Previously on Flintlocks and Fireballs, the party have completed a few days of sort of rest and recovery. Not exactly. I should say they've not even completed, but they have had a few days of rest and recovery following the battle for Newmark. Now they have joined together with Scamp's biological sister and fellow sorcerer, Victory, to steal a mansion, specifically Wayne Manor, spelt W-A-I-N, where, having investigated Wayne Manor, the party have discovered a number of interesting things, such as the layout of its rooms, its plentiful pantries, and the fact that there was a secret cave underneath that was apparently the lair of some sort of Mothman vigilante who had apparently marked all three of the party for death.
And we haven't noticed because we're assholes.
Yeah, and had miraculously somehow been like one step behind, like 2 steps behind them the whole way.
Yep.
A master of stealth who, unfortunately, it appeared was gunned down by some random musketeers before they could ever reach the party to take them out. Survived only by his valet, Squintworth Butler Esquire.
Oh yeah, for ages.
Survived.
The one remaining member of
Briefly
Wayne
outlived.
Manor's staff. The party attempted to arrange Squinty
Oh
a
yeah,
new
we were going
job.
to get Squinty a whole new
Yeah,
life.
whole new life.
It's alright,
whole new
we've got
job.
Phoenix Town.
Oh my god, can you
Like
imagine?
90-year-old man. Only for him to rush back at the last minute upon seeing, having not quite fully left, but clearly like stayed to get a last look at the manor, seen the strange goings on as the party began conjuring up the mechanism of stealing the mansion, and in a panic attempted to run back into the manor, only for the terrifying arcane forces to bisect him. And similarly, trap the party within as Corzin went to rescue Squinty. Squinty died. Celestia went to rescue Corzin, fell. Corzin proceeded to go to rescue Celestia, and in a panicked move to avoid the same happening to them, Victory figured the only way to stop the spell going wildly out of control was for both her and Scamp to go to the inside of the spell's radius. And you all, for a few for an unknown amount of time, lose consciousness as the clap of rushing air stuns you. Can I ask everyone to give me a constitution check, please?
Lol.
Okay.
Oh, fuck. That's really good. Excuse
Dirty
me.
20.
Check.
That's
19.
They're also 19.
Okay. And I'll just do the same for Victory. Cool. Corzin, you awake about, I'm going to say a couple of moments before the others. You open your eyes and stare up into the black. You're on your back. The force has knocked you over. And when I say staring up into the black, I mean pitch absolute black. There is no sun. There are no stars. It's like when it feels like when Apophis ate the sun, but you don't have that same blessing anymore. You can see in the dark regardless, and indeed, your peculiarly 360 vision gives you more information immediately. But you can see through the strange sort of greys and blacks, the absence of light, that is dark vision, the absence of colour. It's more like present. You don't even get strong texture here. You get it feels dark vision. It's not quite like echolocation. You see surfaces. You see rough textures. You couldn't read writing.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
this. You need light. There's no fine vision. But you realise you are lying on your back on the lawn of the mansion. To your left, there is the rising wall of the mansion. You can see sort of feetwards of you. There's bits that you can see the edge of where the hedge maze is. Headwards, there is where leading to the pool, and to your right, where there was the wall, is more black. As you start to pick yourself up, you realise the grass, the lawn, ends abruptly about 3 feet away from where you're lying.
Well, that's less than stellar.
And it's a very gentle curve. As you start to get your bearings, you realise that in a pretty much perfect circle around the mansion, the world just seems to end.
Oh no.
It's fine, everything's fine.
It is dead quiet. There is no wind, no breeze on your skin, no sound of animals. You can see one moment, let me just roll a quick check just in case they got above the 20. They didn't. Even Steve the chicken is silent, but that's because the chicken is currently unconscious.
Okay. If I look around, I can see my companions.
Yes, so you can see next to you, groggily regaining consciousness about a similar time, just a few seconds delayed, is Celestia.
Everybody all right?
You can see Victory has not regained consciousness, some distance away, and just at a fair distance the other way, you can see Scamp is picking themselves up as well. You can see Corzin and Celestia, as you open your eyes, you can see as well. The spirit world is very nearly empty. Normally there are spirits always flitting around all over the place, and I just don't mention them, but like generally you can assume there's like little things here and there.
Yeah.
You almost don't notice them. You can only see the rainbow spirit around Celestia, the octopus and fish spirits around Corzin. I mean, technically Marjorie's here, but she's wrapped in Marjorie. And Corzin, you notice this first. You can see, Scamp, you can't, Friend, Lux, and Seedy sat or stood near Scamp.
Can I see them?
You can see them too.
Oh.
I don't like
And I'd like both of you to make a perception check, please. This is sight-based.
Okay.
Sight-based, okay, cool. Natural 20.
10.
Okay, Corzin, you briefly catch sight of... It's almost impossible to see because it's black on black. Some sort of dark spirit flit over the edge of the garden and down.
Oh, like down past the bounds of where things end.
Into the void. Mm-hmm. Just downwards.
You see that?
What?
That's a spirit of some kind, I think. It just went over the edge.
Where are we?
Wayne Manor!
Wayne Manor has sky.
Coulson is going to take out his belaying pin and just slowly prod it past the boundaries of where the thing ends.
Just goes straight in. Just like there's just air in every direction. It doesn't feel like... There's no roof that you can see or anything. There's just nothing, except apparently breathable air.
Alright, this is weird.
How much breathable air?
I'm going to sit down for a hot second and just remember how to focus on anything except the fact that we can't see the sky.
It's all pitch black. There is no natural light source.
Does anyone have a quick light source?
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. The little purple dancing lights flash into existence.
Can I just throw a fireball bolt, not ball,
Bolt?
bolt
Yeah.
out into the void?
Yes, you do, as you sort of focus on your own.
Is victory alright?
Victory is not stirred yet.
Okay.
I'll go and see if she's
Oh,
okay.
yeah, sure.
You, Scamp, you cast the firebolt, and you watch as the little gout of flame, of pink flame, casts a little bit of light as it goes. Slowly arcs, carries on. You watch it go, because there's nothing like much in terms of like atmospheric haze or anything in the way. You do see it go for a good long time until it just dwindles out beyond the range at which the light reaches you.
Okay.
But
that was I see it to its full length.
Oh yeah, it definitely goes the full 120 feet, and then it just sort of arcs.
240.
Sorry, 240 feet, and then it just arcs downwards and away.
Corzin,
Yeah.
what were you asking me if I saw? Because there's nothing here. So what were you asking about?
It was a black shape, really difficult to see against the rest of everything.
Right.
Oh.
That's nice.
Hooray!
Your focus is becomes clearer where the purple light is because it's actual light,
Yeah.
and you're able to see.
Thankfully I can just do that. For as long as
Could I describe the physical characteristics of this thing, or was it just difficult to see it?
Amorphous, dark.
Alright, it was like a spirit but hadn't properly formed.
I mean, not to be horribly paranoid and stuff, could you do the touch the ground, see what's around?
That's
Definitely.
a really good
Yep.
idea.
I will cast Primeval Awareness.
Okay, you are no longer on the coast.
So up to a mile then.
To a mile with. So primeval awareness requires a sort of path to follow. So some things are going to be a little weird here. Give me a moment to just grab the player's handbook, which was definitely around.
Where's that book?
I have a copy next to me if you want me to look something up.
I must have
cheating.
Your notes isn't.
that's Voli's go to monsters.
Did you take it
Oh,
downstairs?
there's a bunch of books on the floor.
Oh, they're underneath a pile of recording cases. That's
This
why.
is what you should do for our listeners.
Apologies for
and
the Foley,
everything,
listeners.
everything falling over,
I dropped something.
That was me.
googling things and looking for books.
I dropped it.
This is authentic D&D.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the authentic
Very
D&D
authentic
experience.
D&D experience.
And if you listen very closely, you'll hear me scrolling backwards through my phone, desperately trying to find Jeffrey's stats.
Oh my god, do
For
I
the
have Stormy
second
with
week in
me?
a row.
Is Stormy here?
Yes.
Good.
Stormy
Okay.
with about the same point as the others. I'm going to say then. So Stormy, Jeffrey, Marjorie regain consciousness. Steve is the last to regain, going and just promptly goes back to sleep because it's night.
It's night time.
And
It's chicken.
Steve is a regular bird.
Yep.
Is
Yep.
she? We don't know. She might not have a soul anymore.
Steve is, as far as you can, at least as far as her instincts are concerned here, a regular bird.
To be fair, we did the same thing to Corzin, and we haven't been worried about whether or not Corzin's got a soul anymore.
It's true.
One would
Okay.
hope it's self-evident.
What will you discover? Right, within a mile,
Mm-hmm.
you pulse. First of all, the roar of the sea. There is,
Okay.
It's still
unsurprisingly,
here, yeah.
one kraken-like entity within a mile of you.
Okay.
I'm trying to think what is here will show up. There is the cold darkness of undeath somewhere. within a mile.
Okay. Right.
And the faint spice and cinnamon scent. A scent that you had not previously detected in Newmark of something... Well, sorry, no. You detected it... I take that back. You detected it very frequently in Newmark ever since you brought Poppy and such back from the still world. So, yes, you definitely detect the now very familiar spice and cinnamon scent of something infernal.
Okay. Fiends. Alright.
But yeah, because of the sheer range of that, the latter is much fainter than the former.
Okay. I'm gonna look around just briefly and see if I can see the remains of Squinty.
From what you recall, half of the remains of
There's a reason.
Squinty were on the outside of the circle, and you remember the top half falling into the void shortly before you lost consciousness.
No, probably still
Right, okay.
falling.
Right, I've
You
got.
don't know how long Squinty's upper half has been falling for.
That's right. I've got undead and a bit of fiend, I think.
Oh, good.
Oh, lovely. My
Love a bit of
favourite. What a
fiend.
lovely combination.
Oh, and I suppose the slight sort of weird piccolo trill of Marjorie.
I would like to lie on my belly and go to the edge and just put my head over and just see if I can see anything.
Okay, give me...
I'm not gonna like stand and lean over. I'm gonna lie on my belly and like.
give me
hang
your
on.
choice of perception. No, this is a perception check from you, please.
Okay.
Because you're not doing like a very thorough search.
I
You're
just
just
want to see
taking
if I
a
can
look.
see anything under where we are.
Should I shoot some more fire out, or is that a terrible idea given that there might be undead things lurking? Just see if we can see what down is.
Maybe it's 14, by the way.
Do
Okay,
it.
14. So,
Okay.
peering down, you can see soil crumbling a little in places, and then rock in a broadly shallow semicircular divot going underneath the house, presumably all the way down to where the totem Victory placed was at the base of the house in the caves. You don't know. It doesn't feel like you're falling, but then there's no breeze or anything. But there's no ground unless there's like a hidden pillar right underneath, because it's a curving surface. You lose sight very quickly. It does seem to just go. I will say with the 14, you do see a couple of other things from this position that seem a little weird now that you go. At sort of like 120, if you imagine like almost like 120 degrees from each other outwards, at different edges of your vision, looking left and right, you can see two oddities. One appears to be a sort of mass of twisting roots and vine and dirt, stretching out a little bit into the void, outwards from the edge of this perfect circle. Looking up, it seems to be somewhere in the midst of what's left of the hedge maze, before seeming to turn in on itself and vanish. It's kind of hard to make out where it stops and goes, but it does seem to go at least a certain length outwards. Peering to the other side, you can see where the part of the wall has been included in this circle, and you can see the remnants of the archway with the iron gate, that lovely wrought iron gate. The wrought iron gate appears to have completely twisted itself out of shape, and now you can see what looks almost like less of a walkway and more like a thin, spindly set of iron rods or webs or threads stretching out into the dark beyond the range of your dark vision. Because your even the longest dark vision you have, which is shared by Celestia and Corzin, is 120 feet.
Yeah.
And beyond that, it just goes... You just lose your ability to discern detail.
Look at these. I point out the two things that I've seen. I'm going to send some dancing light. Oh. Hello.
Oh,
Fuck my
Morning.
Oh, more
possibly.
night?
No.
Oh, fuck.
Yep.
Haven't seen Knight do that before.
I mean, not since the battle, and that wasn't even night.
No, it was something else, wasn't it?
Is your mate eating the sun again?
No.
Darling.
Yeah, I was. I mean, I'm pretty sure that wasn't happening. But I was just hoping.
Generally, when you eat the sun, as though it's a normal thing that happens, but usually you don't take the sky with it, and there's kind of
And like everything else.
and the floor's gone past there.
Yeah, there's that thing.
She looks
There's-
over. Oh
there's-
shit!
There's the twisty roots thing and the scary metal gate thing that isn't a gate.
Do you want me to try and light it up a bit?
I mean, I can give it a go.
How far out can you send those lights?
120 feet.
Ah,
What? What is it? What is it? Why are you doing
totems
that
are gone.
face? What does that
Oh,
mean?
gone.
you look around. The sort of pyramid-like totems of dragon bone and ash and gemstones gone.
What does
Well-
that mean? Does that mean we can't do... Oh, shit.
Okay, give me a moment. I've got a feeling about this. Okay, it's fine. I should. She fumbles around and takes one of the two little dragon bone doors with the topaz. Okay, listen. We should still be able to get back. I just need to reopen the door from this side. Focuses for a moment.
That should is worrying.
The topaz you see on the door flares for a moment. And ahead of, kind of like almost straight forwards towards where the double doors out of the mansion are, you see a flicker of whitish energy spread, jet forwards, and then seems to fizzle and scatter. Okay.
Right.
That doesn't look good.
Actually, no, that's really good.
Okay.
I
How
was
is that
worried
good?
that wouldn't happen. Okay. So we are
Fucked.
we're still connected to the world.
Good.
But
Right.
the doorway is there. Right there, in fact. So we can open it. Fuck. But it's designed to work with the totems close by. We just need... if we can figure out...
Can we make new ones?
Do you have a dragon?
No.
No, I've got a
Not
coat
on me, no.
that's dragon skin.
Dragon bone specifically. And we also need like
lots of
mummy
skin.
ashes and a lot of fuck ton of
I
topazes.
mean, there's someone dead here.
We could wait till one of us dies and just, grate it. I don't know.
Not a solution I'm happy with at this point.
Oh, it was only
mean-
as a last resort, but it's not looking good, is it?
Okay.
I don't know. We'll find a way back.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean...
but sure.
We should probably take stock of the
course we will.
situation
We'll
at
be fine.
least.
Everything will be fine.
Yeah, look, let's
Everything's
see if we can.
We just get if we can get the totems back and restore and put them back where they were, all 5 of them, then we should be then I should be able to reopen the door.
Great, we'll
Alright,
do
I
that
guess
then.
the first thing to do then would be retrace our steps to where the totems were. See if all of those locations are still here. If you see what I mean.
Right. Well, 2 of them I can see from here. So one was there. She points to not far in front of the double doors, well, now the archway with the strange spindly metal. And you can actually see there is a groove in the dirt of the pathway where something heavy has shot outwards through the gate.
What was that?
I mean, I guess I'd say that was probably the totem.
So it went that way.
Let's keep taking stock of what
What
we
about that
need.
big scary metal web thing, the where the gate was? Could one of them be in that fucking horrifying thing,
I mean,
perchance?
the scary metal web thing is just beyond where the archway was, so that is straight onwards where the
so it would have gone that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it'll...
Do you want me to send a bit of fire that way, see if we can see anything?
Yeah, also
or I can
send
send a
one
light, whatever.
I can go a bit further, though.
Oh, do it, yes.
I can go 480 feet.
4 times what I've got.
Send
go,
one
go.
directly up
Yes.
as well.
Yeah.
I'll spend a sorcery point
Like
to double
a
my
pipe
range
of
of fireball.
tobacco.
Okay.
Send one 480 feet out.
Send one directly up as well, unless it's going to fall straight back down on us.
Nah, it sort of fizzles out after a point.
I mean,
Alright, well, that'll give us an idea of what we're dealing with in 3 dimensions then.
it sort of does. The one you shot out beyond, your maximum range is more likely your maximum accurate range. It loses power,
Yeah.
but it does technically keep going a little bit longer, just with less control. But yeah, you shoot the 480 feet. Watching keenly, you do see it illuminates just the glint of more of these metal threads and sort of, for want of a better term, walkway, although it's more like a rope bridge going outwards before it vanishes beyond. Eventually, sort of, the arc goes down. You see it faintly impact a bit of metal walkway, splinter, and fizzle out. So it clearly goes for more than 480 feet that way.
Well, we've got somewhere we can walk at least.
Yeah, there's... Okay.
There's that scary roots thing.
Do you want
Right,
one down
let's
there?
take a look over there.
Oh, we should take a look for the... Where were the rest of the fucking totems? What are
Okay,
we
so
talking?
one of them was actually set. We actually put it in just on the edge of the garden mage of the hedge maze, and indeed you can see where going over. I'd like the hedge maze is a little weird. You can see where the neat hedge maze was. And definitely there is a notable hole in a couple of the hedges where something heavy has shot through it. And then it started to give way to new growth. Bits of hedge have grown up and around and changed the layout slightly of the hedge maze. You can see sections of it have overgrown. Bits of hedge have suddenly grown up, rooted. And it's all changed a little bit. You can't see into the maze without going into the maze, but looking from the side, you can tell that it clearly ties into whatever that massive roots and twisting soil and dirt is. But which, unlike it similarly seems to go out a long way and gets sort of thinner, but also seems to vanish beyond dark vision range.
Okay.
Well, that was where the second one of them was.
Yep.
We need to go around to the other side of the house for the third one.
Right.
You walk
Lead on.
around and past the pool, still dark. We're followed by the various spirits, Lux, etc. Lux and Friend and Seedy pacing after Scamp. And there is a bit of the retaining wall, which again, just in front of it, there is skid marks through the dirt and just a hole smashed through the brick wall.
Oh.
And interestingly, this one, you can see there are a series of bricks beyond it, floating in the dark, in like a sort of scattered, incomplete pathway, like
pretty.
a handful of bricks at a time, forming like almost like a foot, like something like you could put a foot on, then a single brick, then a few more bricks, and then stretching out and then with little
Like
clumps
gravity
of
doesn't
dirt
work.
or rock. Yeah, at least for these bricks and shit, and then out beyond dark vision range.
So that's 3.
There was one more that was on the roof, and one more
Caused them to
that
be
was in the
dragged
cave.
like that.
I haven't the slightest fucking idea.
Oh, good.
That's fun.
This-
It looks like something has made specific paths to Laura's, to the various totems.
Yeah, that's sounds.
But I'm
right.
sorry, they don't just form, do they?
I have no idea. I never went in after where I sent the chest to. So this is presumably wherever my chest goes.
Right.
And I'm not
Great.
using it.
Alright, good to know.
For all I know, it's just hanging out. She gestures at the void. There, somewhere.
So the only person who's been here before is Steve
Is
the chicken.
Steve.
Steve's going to have to be our guide.
Steve's asleep.
Steve has just flat asleep.
Knocked out.
Is chicken. Oh, it's Nonny. I'm asleep.
Bedtime, yeah.
In the way that you cover a bird's eyes, it just stops moving.
Yeah. I have a question that is not related to the void. With regard to Scamp's various friends, we think Lux is dormant, don't we?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
they certainly don't seem to have the power to impact the world that they did before, as far as you knew. But Corzin, previously, when you've been looking into the still world, you've seen Lux has been with the others, following after Scamp, but just looking kind of annoyed.
Okay.
and a
Like
bit
they've been
distant.
there, but not
There, but-
actually active.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
they,
if Corzin's mentioned this, then I wouldn't ask about it then.
they're looking pretty
Yeah.
similar now. It's just that you can't usually see them.
Have I ever seen them before? I don't think I have I?
I don't think.
I feel like you have, but I don't know where.
No, I'm not sure you have. This might be the first time. So yeah,
that's-
you see.
Oh, I would have made more of a deal. about it.
So you've heard them described, but I think it's the first time with. I mean, honestly, you've had a panic reaction to everything. Maybe this is maybe
This is
the
like another.
moment you've
I've
like
just taken me a few minutes to
come together, and then you realise there are like 3 more Scamps standing behind Scamp with just like recolours
Hang on a
in
minute.
silver, purple, and blue.
Hang on. Who was who here?
Well, this is Corzin.
No, shut up. Friend, which one are you?
The silver one sticks around. That's me.
That's what
Hello.
they've always looked like.
What are they look-
Hi, I'm City. Lux.
Can I hear them all?
Nope.
I can usually hear friend though.
You can
hear
actually
friend.
you can hear them. You just can't see
I
them
can't see them.
because
Not remotely charmed, I say to Lux. Well, this is a first. Yep.
Well, they're always. I can always hear them.
Yes,
for
but
a
I
while.
can't always see them, darling.
You can say.
And I can
How
only
come
see
I
them if
never
I'm
get to
looking
see
into-
the fun things? Ugh.
It's like you, but
I mean,
different
it-
colour scheme.
If it helps, I can't see them either.
Oh.
Is
Do
this
you
like
have
this-
any? You don't have any.
I
we've
mean, she
talked about
doesn't
this
have any
before,
Yeah, but you haven't got any now either.
but no.
Okay.
I don't have like strange. I don't have curious but very interesting skull friends following me around.
No.
Apparently, looking like me.
Oh yeah, it's the same, but like different colour scheme.
Huh.
I see there's a lot going on right now.
Who's got the best colour scheme? Is it me?
Yes.
Good.
No,
Yeah.
actually, sorry, it's Lux.
Ah.
I really like purple. It's just personal preference, but you do look better in pink. It's just if I had to pick one of the spirit friends, Lux has the best colours.
Lux incidentally is dressed in like a somehow slightly more same basic outfit, but like somehow a more upmarket version of Scamp's outfit.
Yeah, your clothes are nicer though. I say.
Lux just raises the middle finger at
I
you.
do it back.
Corzin, I think you asked something, but I didn't catch it. A few moments ago.
Oh, it was when you were describing the debris that was left from the thing. It's sort of just hanging.
Oh yeah,
It's
just
in
hanging.
space.
as if it were resting on something, but no example of anything on there.
Oh, I didn't do a shut up. I'm going to throw some fire up in the air.
Yeah.
Just the 240 range.
Okay.
I don't want to use all
It
the sorts of
shoots
points.
up, arcs, starts to lose fire, and it does actually land about 30 feet away, but with like all of its force gone. It's just like a little.
Okay.
Cool.
I mean, that was fun. I'm not gonna lie, but did you say the other one was on the roof?
Yeah.
Should we check the roof? We haven't been inside the house.
Should we go?
Corzin
Oh,
is going
there's
to
a
take a
body
stone
in there.
and throw it outside of the bounds to see how far it falls.
Sure. Where are you throwing it? So, which bit of the bounds? Are you just like tossing it over the edge at a random place? Or...
Yeah.
Okay. You take it. You pick up there's gravel paths. You're able to grab toss.
Yeah, a little pebble.
Yep. Flies over the edge, out of your dark vision range.
But it does
You don't
continue
hear
to
it drop.
fall. It doesn't like hang
Oh,
in
it just
the air.
falls.
Okay.
Just like if you're just tossing it over the edge at a random point.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's odd.
Yeah.
So what's kept them there, but...
Whatever wants us to find the totems.
Or to go looking for them at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, not necessarily to find them. You have a point there.
Can you do the find things thing, Corzin? Like, not right now necessarily, but if you've got
I can
that,
certainly try.
that's the thing you could do. Maybe not right this second.
Let's use it wisely. Yeah.
I mean, what's the
Just
range
clarification, for
on
the
that?
sake of this spell, it is an object.
Yes, the totems are
Right.
objects. I believe your range is what, 1,000 feet?
I believe, yes, 1,000 feet.
So that would tell us something, even if you couldn't feel them. But
I
let's
mean,
have a
how-
look
Yeah,
first.
how long can you keep that up for?
10 minutes?
I mean,
So when we decide to go,
Yeah,
maybe we do it until you get like a
but
ping on the edge of it.
yeah, hard to say.
Let's have a look around first.
Yeah,
let's check if there's still one on the roof, because there'll be one down.
yeah. There was a ladder up to the roof through one of the upstairs rooms. I think it was. Here we go. Yeah, through that training room. On the first
Is
floor.
the house gonna be weird?
You look around.
Did
The
we
house
deactivate
is dark
all the
and
traps?
silent.
Only one way to find out.
As far as you know,
Squinty actually did. We did this.
Butler deactivated all the traps for you.
Yeah.
Okay, because I got hit pretty heavy last. The last trap. Could do with avoiding that again. Oh, have we really rested at all? How long were we unconscious? Was it a restful 8 hours of unconscious?
No.
Bugger.
It was
Didn't
more.
think so.
It was you feel like less than an hour has passed.
Boo.
It's more like the sudden rush of air caused you to pass out for anywhere between a few seconds to several minutes.
Okay.
Okay, so
Shall we try getting up to the roof then?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do the nearest bit.
the nearest door is the front door. The
Open the door.
doors are. Open the door. The sound of the door creaking is just like echoingly. It's actually not echoingly loud because the sheer void just eats the sound. There's not much resonance. The resonance that you do get is the echoing within the house, but it is loud by comparison.
Well, that was the worst creaky door sound.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
There is again. You see the entry hall with its impressive stairway through dim purple through the dim purple lights.
Yeah, I like
the
everything
dancing
as we go.
lights, and the impressive sort of central chandelier with its currently dormant dwarf stones,
Oh.
as well as you remember upon seeing this that there are actually dwarf stones and sconces throughout this house, so it can be lit at night.
Maybe we'll put those on if we can.
Yeah, let's put those on. And also, see if there are any fires still burning in the
Although-
fireplaces.
If we put all the lights on, we make a big old beacon.
There is a rule in the place I'm from where it's dark, you don't put a load of light on. But it might not be the same thing. But equally, do we want to find out?
We know there's something out there.
We do, but what if there are lots of somethings and only one of
Yeah.
them's seen us?
Yeah.
You know?
For now, us being able to see is a better advantage.
Okay.
I mean, we can see, though.
Yeah, we can see by the small lights perfectly fine.
I don't think we need to put the big ones on necessarily.
You. It is worth note. Okay. You leave off the maze lights if you the dwarf stones. If you want to turn the dwarf lights on at any point, there are handy little runes you can press.
Lights switches.
I mean, we won't when I put them. Might turn out that they're really good for getting rid of horrible things. So, let's all know how to turn them on quickly.
And you look over to one of them, and Victory, hearing that, sort of reaches up, thumbs one, and there is a almost harsh by comparison, just warm yellow light that starts filling the room from that point. She then quickly turns it off again.
Okay, so it's that simple. That's
Well,
good.
that's helpful.
Yeah, I mean, why would you make it more complex if you could?
True.
Bit funny, though.
These things are bloody expensive, though. We steal them whenever we can.
Don't blame you.
I mean, I'd pry one out now, but we've sort of already stolen the whole mansion. So it
Yeah,
feels
this place not really.
we'd just be robbing ourselves.
Yeah, that just seems a little bit silly.
Yes.
All or nothing, really.
Right, up the stairs.
Yeah.
Creak up the stairwell. Through to the west wing on the first floor, and through to the training room, filled with combat dummies that appear to have been repeatedly punched or slashed in various ways.
Oh, this is. I feel really bad that this person dedicated so much time to like hunting us and training to get to fight us, and
At least it wasn't just us.
but we never even
What
noticed.
was that?
You look around for a minute. You swear you heard a rustle.
Mothman?
Mothman?
Nothing.
It is
Sorry,
worth seeing if
I-
the body's still downstairs.
Oh, shit.
Why would you say
Why
that?
have you? Oh, I hate you, but you're so right. We should do that.
Sorry, I think I hit one of the curtains there.
I fucking hate you. I'm going to push you off the edge of this stupid little island we're on.
I don't think that would work. They sort of. She flies a lot. It's not going to work.
I'll still do it.
I mean, under the circumstances, I'm probably the one you should push off the edge if you were going to.
Or
so-
really shouldn't, because you might be literally the only one that can get us out. So, you know.
True. Either
Sorry
way.
for overreacting. I'm very stressed. Right, where's the roof?
It's okay.
Also, is there a body
yes,
here? Should we
stairs.
do that first?
I mean, the stairs are here. Let's just.
Let's check for a
Well,
We
body.
should
more
check
like
for
that.
a body.
It's also worth checking because that would be the lowest part of the house, correct?
Yeah. Which
So
would
there
make-
will, if there was an anchor there would be one there, wouldn't there?
Yes, because we put one right at the bottom.
Yeah.
Should we do that one first, then?
Two
I mean,
birds,
wh-
one stone. Come on.
I'd like
we're
to know if
nearly
the
at.
body's moved.
I mean, we're nearly at the roof. Do you
Sure,
wanna check
let's
this while
do
we're
that
here?
first.
Fine.
then.
While we're here, then let's go check for a body.
She opens up the rooftop. The rooftop access.
I don't suppose anyone can
Climbs
cast
up.
detect magic quickly, can they?
Nope.
Sorry,
never learned
I've
that
got
one.
to I've got to recharge the wand and everything.
Yeah, it'll take me 10 minutes as well. I'll just.
I've been very tempted to do detect thoughts, but it wouldn't be worth it.
Clamber up onto the roof. You're on the roof tiles. You can see the spot. There's literally just on top of the highest point, which was a chimney, where Victory had placed the totem. No sign of it.
Oh, a surprise. Shock.
Anything up from there, or like anywhere it looks like it could have gone?
Nothing within the range of. You can't see anything within the range of your dark vision. You make an investigation or perception check, maybe.
Investigation, please. That's a 19 for
Okay.
me.
You really peer up and around. You don't see any sign, but you do take a look at the chimney point. And just something about the way that the very top of the chimney is scuffed, it makes you think it just went up.
I do. Look at these. I think it just went up.
Oh, good.
Just up.
It's like something drew all of them like a magnet to the outside of wherever this is.
That's an interesting theory.
One thing I am going to do while I'm up here and I have like a high vantage point is I am going to take advantage of my 360 vision
Yes.
and see if I can see
Yeah.
anything moving.
Okay, give me...
Besides us, obviously.
Yeah, give me a perception check, please.
Okay, that is a 25.
You focus, staring in every direction. You don't see anything. You don't see anything visible. You don't see anything invisible within 120 feet. In fact, roll a wisdom check, please.
Okay. Straight wisdom check, that's 14.
Something's missing. It's like one of your senses is gone, but you can't not sure what.
There's something that should be here that isn't.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
You mean the spirits? Because, I mean, I've noticed that.
well, yeah, but also it's like it's like walking into a room you're familiar with and just like one thing is different.
Oh, like
and
the
you can't
sofa's
quite-
gone or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can't quite tell what it is immediately.
I'm going to look really hard and see if I can figure out what it is. Just look, like, do really hard thinking.
This would be,
It might not be a sense I have, but-
intelligence check.
Intelligence check.
Because this is not a sense you have.
I mean, it's not bad, actually. 20.
With a 20, you realise you can see friend Lux and CD here. And Corzin can normally shift his vision to multiple planes, into a different way. Normally, those three aren't on the spirit plane that you can see.
Hang on. You can see things differently to how we can see things. But at the moment, I can see friend Lux and CD. Aren't they normally in like a different place that you can see but I can't? Why are they in this
Yeah.
place? Why
don't
are they
know.
all together in one?
I don't know.
Are there not multiple places here like they usually are?
Are we in the place that you can usually see?
We've been there.
I did think that, but no, I don't think that's the
Different,
case.
isn't
That
it?
there would be other things that would be indicators of, like, it'd be all grey and cold for one, and I can see
That's
colour.
where we went when we found Poppy that time. That was different.
You
Oh, I went to a
focus-
place like that, didn't I, briefly?
Yeah,
Yes, you
but
did.
we also we went in
Yeah,
in the one shop for
but like, I went to the one...
But yes, you
Briefly
recall the time when
elsewhere
you
as
went
well.
back in. I think it was in the temple in Kabir
the
Nagash,
same,
where you
different.
also,
So it's like that, but not that.
and indeed causing you focus. There is no still world here.
Yeah, it's like, it's not there. It's like when I try and look at that place, it isn't there anymore.
Oh.
that doesn't sound very good.
No, I don't think that sounds healthy.
Are we okay? Lots of different worlds all stacked on top of each other. Is how I'm picturing what you can usually see. That might be completely incorrect because I haven't
Yeah,
got this
no,
from
that's
anywhere.
sort of how I think of it myself. So that
What if-
suggests that have
What
we
if
gone
we're
sideways?
outside the stack?
Yeah.
Like we've fallen through the pocket lining of the world.
Yes.
Yeah, I was picturing like a deck of cards on the table, and we're just on the table, and there's in the bit without the deck.
Oh,
But
that
I
makes,
quite like
that
yours.
works too.
Ah,
Actually.
both those good.
Yeah.
But the fact is just
Well, like in the box that the cards should have been in. It's just empty.
Yep. Oh dear. I don't really know how I deal with that, to be honest.
I don't know why being here would cause them to be visible elsewise, though.
Lux speaks up at this point and says, "We've followed after you. And this was the only way to follow after."
Oh, I've
so
got a
there
terrible idea. We can ask Grandmother Fingersnap.
Can we get a message back?
I've been pretending that I haven't thought of that for like half an hour now.
Grandmother finger snap.
Don't worry.
Celestia's grandmother.
Yes.
That's a lie. It was a bad lie. No one was convinced.
Mine was even worse than yours was. I tried, but I can't lie when I'm panicking at the moment. It's really bad.
That is bad.
It's fine. She's dead. You don't have to worry about her.
So we're going to commune with the dead?
Kind of. Maybe.
Well, see if
Probably
message
not.
works first.
Message.
But to who? It's not a big range.
I mean, I've been thinking about sending, but I've
If
already
it's
used a
possible
couple
to
of
do that,
spells
then
of
it
that
might be
size
possible
today.
that sending works.
Well, sending's a lot bigger.
Sending's a bigger spell. I've already
Message
used a
is
few
very
spells. I'm quite worried about using
directional.
spells gratuitously. I've been wanting to do that and detect
Yeah.
thoughts for like the whole time we've been here, but
I mean, magic works. Like, you've conjured lights,
yes, but
you've
some
made
of us
fire.
can't just get bigger spells back in exchange for smaller spells.
Yeah.
I know that you both can, but I can't. I'm a bit worried about using stuff up gratuitously. I could
Yeah.
try a message, I suppose.
Oh.
Hello? 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 To a few directions. Hello?
I'll go to a place that I'm not immediately visible and see if that still works.
Yeah, you walk behind... I guess if we're still on the roof, you will go behind a chimney.
Yeah.
You receive the message. Roll a luck check.
Okay.
Me or...
No, Celestia's the one casting a
Sorry.
message in every direction.
12.
There's no response.
Oh, fuck you then.
I don't know what would have been the lucky result there.
I don't either.
Because I don't
Well,
think
that
we want a
works,
response.
but-
I'm really, really reticent to use up that
Maybe we should
size of spell.
gather more information.
Yeah, nothing happens.
yeah, hold off on it for now, Celestia, but...
Yeah.
Right.
Let's
But we're on a
trek.
We think we're not on. I mean, we know we're not really on the same sort of
Stack.
slice of reality, so we can't teleport out.
I mean,
We could try.
roll a wisdom. Sorry,
No
is this
idea.
be wisdom? Yeah, this would be wisdom for you. Check.
Then it was not going to go well. 16.
It feels like, you know how you can sense like you need a thing to do a spell. You feel like to do teleport circle,
Yeah.
you need to be somewhere that is not here. You're missing a component that you've never been missing before.
Okay, so the problem here is, like, there are a few things you need for teleport. The circle one. We need me and my chalk,
Yes.
and we need the circle,
Yes.
which is at a place. The place don't exist here. It ain't here. It's somewhere else, so I
Oh,
can't
shit.
get through to it.
Yeah, it feels
It's
like
not there.
your ability to teleport to a different part of the world is missing.
The world.
Yeah. Right, let's carry on
I
then.
think I could do like the short range one, but it ain't gonna get us anywhere useful.
Yeah, you actually do feel like you could.
I could do the
That would
could
sort.
do something else, but it's not not useful. I need to know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm going. It's just darkness.
Creepy.
Alright, fair enough.
I'm going to
Let's...
look at the Pride Spirit for a second. What do you think? How are you feeling? Do you have any thoughts?
Wow! This place is strange.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember that time we talked about, like, being ducks?
Yes.
Well, it still feels like that. Like, I can still see home from here.
You can still see home?
Yeah, like...
Like you're like the other end.
Yeah,
The end that
That's
I
still
can't go
there.
in
I'm
because I'm not able to swim in stone.
Yeah, because you're not. Cause, yeah. So that's still there.
So spirit land is still there.
As it were. Yeah. It's kind of not right. It's not quite right, but sorry, that's victory. It's not quite right, but that's sort of the feeling of it. Yes. Home still exists from here, so that still works. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to follow you.
Oh, that's why you can be here.
Yes.
Are we still a duck?
Yes.
Good.
Yes, darling. We're still a duck.
Oh, good we are.
Can I be a duck too?
No.
Oh.
So that was such a mean pause. So we're still a duck, and spirits can still exist here. That's what I've found out. That's fine. Thank you. You've been very helpful. I don't suppose you have any ideas how to get back. I mean, it's a long shot, but
Nope.
Sensing anything scary?
Hmm.
I don't know how you're doing a face, but you are.
Yeah, it's like the twirls of rainbow are like forming, well, an echo of your face almost, and like squinting. Yeah, it's pretty quiet here for the most part, but
Yeah, it is.
not completely though.
What do you mean, not completely?
What?
Sorry, I'm chatting to the rainbow.
Oh no, I'm getting half of it. It's fascinating.
There's
Sorry.
definitely someone else around,
Someone else here.
but
What do you mean, someone else? Another spirit?
maybe, don't know, can't
It's
see.
Steve.
Can't see him.
Is it Steve? It's not Steve. Why am I translating? They can hear you. You can. I don't know why.
Actually, I will
Sorry, I'm
ask
forgetting who I'm
the-
translating to.
Yeah,
I will ask the octopus.
don't think it's the
That thing we saw a while ago, is that like yourself and the rainbow spirit?
Yeah, probably. On your hard to
Alright,
say.
that's what I assumed, yeah. Alright.
Not entirely sure. Wait, no.
Best working theory we've got so far.
Right.
I'm glad you're here anyway. It would suck if you weren't.
Same.
Also, I'm not sure we could do the whole apart thing now. I don't think that would work.
Yeah.
I think we're maybe the same thing a bit now.
Yeah.
But like, it's fun.
Oh
Oh,
no.
I just thought we need to never take you somewhere spirits can't go because it feels like it would just get ripped out your veins at this point.
Yep. Yeah,
Yay!
I think I sort of am a spirit a little bit now. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
We're a duck.
We're a duck.
I'm not a duck.
No, you're not.
Well,
Because fuck you, that's why. Right.
well said, Steve.
But yeah, we
Stormy
we
like
shouldn't go anywhere
vaguely
spirits
paws
can't
around
be.
Steve's cage.
Yes. You're still cute, even in this nightmare world.
I'm gonna grab the splinter that I... Is it a splinter I got from
Yeah.
one of the boats? Some of the boats.
Yeah.
Just, I'm not feeling a connection, am I? In the way that I could use it.
Again,
The world's missing.
the connection's there. It's just, yeah, there is some part of bridge that you're missing.
It's like you've got a car and like a sat nav, but no road.
Yes. It's a
all
car.
the things,
You've got a
but
car and a
there's
sat
just
nav.
nothing
The problem
here.
is, you're floating on a
In a void.
You're in a void. You're on a boat.
It's not like the
The car and the
metaphors
sat
are-
nav is not going to help you.
You've got the car in the south, but you're in a dark void and everything's floating around. And the metaphor falls apart because it's just describing the situation. Oh.
Yeah, you need to be somewhere that is a somewhere.
I'd watch Stormy around Steve.
Yeah, well, Steve might be a soulless devil chicken you don't want in there.
No, it's more the fact that Steve is a food animal to Stormy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stormy
Oh, there's
is
only so long Steve will last.
obviously
I
considering
also have food for her, don't get me wrong,
Right.
but I'm
How
not
to
a
get the
completely
cage
bad
open.
pet opener. A pet owner? You said open at the same time I said owner and I said opener. Pet
Stormy
opener.
might be an
opener.
excellent pet opener, but That is
I
sort of
surely
her-
have like
her
food
deal.
for her.
You have brought cat food.
Yeah.
I mean, you basically have dried fish in your
Yeah.
pack as part of.
Like, I'm not a
and stuff.
completely awful
Yeah.
cat owner. I would have food for my pet. I actually think she's probably slightly overfed because I love her. So I think I probably have more food than I
Yeah,
have.
she's a growing kitten.
Yeah.
I also have this mansion that has probably got quite a well-stocked larder.
You know there's a well-stocked larder. You've seen it.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah.
There's enough to banquet 100 people with a 9-course banquet.
Yeah.
How was that one valet gonna do all of that? Anyway,
Well, he isn't because he's dead.
he's just there.
Well, they hadn't in a while, and presumably they'd have to get people in if that were the case.
Let's not stay here long enough that we have to eat both of the valet.
I mean, we'd have been there a really long time because we've got fucking hundreds of people's food.
Yep. Let's not stay here.
Yeah,
that long.
that would be a real last resort.
Talking of which, shall we check the caves below?
Yes. Let's go check the body.
We have to.
You head back down into the training room, across to the armory with the many like ceremonial weapons and so on. The actual like stacked musket rounds.
I just feel like this body isn't going to be here and Mothman's going to be possessed by a horrible spirit and it's going to be like Mothman's domain now.
And then we get to find Mothman and he
Yeah.
finally gets
You descend down you open the secret
void.
you open the secret doorway in the fireplace that leads to the ladder. Who goes down the ladder first, please?
Oh, not me. I hate caves.
I will.
Corzin first, he's second.
I'll go next.
Fine.
Victory brings up the rear. Corzin, you descend.
I'm just gonna like slide down the ladder.
You slide it. By the way, the sound that happen in movies when you drop bombs.
Carry the cat with you, so I'm not leaving there.
Yes, you do.
I'm gonna keep hold of Jeffrey.
And presumably the cage with Stephen. In the
Oh
song.
yeah, no, I'm sort of.
Also, sort of-
I think that's sort of attached to my waist at this
Yeah.
point. I've tied it to myself, so
I
I've
think
got
I've
my
done that,
hands free.
like cat scarf thing that people do.
Yeah.
You know, the cat's just like on your shoulders,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's too big, so it's awful. It's probably
You know, if
really
you're wanting to
angry
get from
about
up there to down here quickly, you should have a pole.
That's a good idea.
I'm
Something
gonna
you
use
just
our
slide
house
down.
now, and if we don't live in the void forever, we should do that. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could just put a pole in.
Yep.
You clamber down, and you reach the bottom where the secret entrance sort of fake door is. Okay, Corzin. You creak the door open. There's a rush of fluttering. The cave is full of moths, but a mix, and several that are disturbed. But something's changed. There are the grey and black and brown moths that there were before, but now there are scores of glimmering, iridescent winged moonlight moths
Where's all of they?
fluttering around, some on the surfaces.
Huh.
There were not this many before, were there?
No.
No, we only saw one of those before. There's loads now.
You
How
peer
the fuck does that make sense then?
as you sort of descending step out. You look into the. You can see, as before, there is the cave itself, about 40 feet up at its height. There is the cave entrance, which just empties out onto nothing now, just straight into the void. That where the cart track used to be. The horse is like stock still in a panic and whatever the.
That's a
Oh no,
horse.
the
God.
horse is here still. I forgot there was a horse here.
Yep.
We were going to cast a thing and we didn't take the horse out. It was just going to be stuck here.
I hate us.
We suck. We're the absolute worst.
Yeah, we're awful.
None of us thought of the horse.
Mind you, somebody was up for casting it with the fucking, 90-year-old butler in the house. Just leave him there when we're not there. So, I just look at Victory. Somebody didn't give a fuck at all. The rest of us, we were trying to give him a new life, and now he's in half.
In fairness, if he'd stayed in the mansion, he wouldn't have cut an
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, okay, I feel bad about it too. There's... Yep, the totem's gone.
Oh, really?
That's a
it
shock.
been
I really
pulled?
expected this
Fucking
one to
plot
still
twist.
be there.
Key
Has it been
change.
pulled downwards or what
You
direction?
look, there is a slide actually lateral rather than straight downwards. Like it looks like it was, like it's gone a little bit into the ground. It's left a low groove, like it was fighting to go partially downwards, but it's gone sideways, smashing into the planning shack. The shack which had like all of the red string wall. And you can see the red string wall itself is like shattered.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
The
It
red
was so
strings just
hard.
like would be fluttering in the wind if there were any wind. There's still like, and there's like a broadly person-sized hole there, with a tunnel. It looks like going through it because you can see that it carries on into the cave. Into the
Oh no, you
rock.
didn't say person-shaped hole, but it's
No,
all I
person-sized
think.
hole.
It's definitely
And
I'm probably like Wallace and Gromit.
and the rock has like broken through. But actually, like when I say a tunnel, I mean like there is a tunnel just leading out into dark, but with rock floor and walls. And in places, the rock appears to be replaced with broken pieces of wood.
Well, that wasn't there before, was it?
I mean, if it was covered by the
Secret tunnel.
by the planning room.
It is a secret tunnel. Sorry, being ranger for a moment.
Yeah.
Is there a non-supernatural explanation for where all of these other iridescent moths came from?
I mean, you do actually see a couple of them fluttering on the walls of the tunnel.
Right. Well,
They might have been in the tunnel.
that's interesting, but begs
there
the
is-
question: where does it go then?
So, as you're wondering that, it's about this point you realise... it's about this point... I need to ask, where did you leave Bruno Wayne's body?
Kinda left it where it was,
I remember
didn't we?
we dressed him like a ninja.
You did. You dressed him in the
so
ninja
that
clothes.
Squinty wouldn't be able to see that his head was off.
Yeah.
It would have been in this cave
Yeah.
because we haven't done anything
Yeah.
with him
You
yet.
brought him out into
we
the
cut
main
his
body
head
of the
off.
cave. Yeah.
We dressed him like a ninja.
Kind of like folded. Didn't quite stitch the head on, but like
What's his
used it to
role?
cover the head. There.
Why are we like
And-
this?
And you laid him out
and we left
in
him
state.
with Squinty,
Sorry.
so that Squinty could have a cry.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
There is nobody here.
Goodness, it appears
Is
the
there-
body has gone.
Is there even a scene where the body was?
What the fuck was
He
that?
fluttering, and then suddenly a glimmering, brilliant, ethereal figure emerges from just straight through the fake wall of the hidden armory room, looking like a man wearing a giant moth costume.
Yeah, we're fighting the Mothman.
Flies out and gets a flippin' surprise round on you because
fuck
you didn't do any checks.
we didn't look for anything.
Wow.
Passive
you-
perception of 24!
Yeah.
Jesus.
I was just trying to see if any of you would do a search.
Okay.
Well, we would have when we got to that.
Yeah.
We didn't quite get to that
We didn't
point
quite
yet.
get there.
got to the point of
Sometimes
not
you're
being a
paranoid
body.
enough to just ask it while I'm describing things, and I gave some spaces. So the first thing that happens is, he's going to pick his targets at random. And apparently, the power wasn't plugged in right or something there.
Dear.
So the music has gone.
Silence,
Oh, dear.
because we're in the void.
Silence.
Yeah.
Void.
The void.
Okay, in the silent void
A
then,
silent fight.
with a sudden Mothman bursts into the room and is going to go, okay, straight up attacks Corzin as the random choice there.
Good.
As he emerges and cries out, "My fists are vengeance!"
Wow.
and launches his surprise round attack. So, wow, it's a good for him. He's got some advantage on these. 15 for the first attack.
Nope.
Okay, Corzin, with some preternatural instinct, you duck to the side to just in time to avoid the impact of this of these ghostly fists, which do for some reason appear to have like spikes on the end or something. It's not really
Right,
clear.
yeah.
Second one. Okay, no, that was 21. Oh, just 21. And 19.
19 hits, yeah.
That was off the table. And 19 again. Okay, so 4 attacks immediately.
Jesus.
3 of which hit. And I'm just going to roll. I'm going to use an auto roller for this one. Okay, are you resistant to necrotic damage at all?
I am not, no.
Okay, then you proceed to take 48 points of necrotic damage
Yikes, okay.
from the Mothman, who is going to... I'm going to say is going to vanish into the ground, taking a bonus action to hide. Which I guess I will roll against stuff. Okay. He has broken cover, but I'm going to say with passive perceptions being what they are...
Corzin's being what it is.
With Corzin's being what it is, right. Yeah, your passive perception without sight is still like, what, 17?
What, sorry?
What's your passive without sight?
Without sight,
Yes.
19.
19. Okay. You hear a sound from behind the moth wagon. Now everybody roll initiative, please.
Oh, I already did. I got 20.
Okay.
I automatically rolled initiative when it started.
Yep.
Okay, that's a 14.
I got a 1.
Oh, no.
Hi.
Okay. So that makes Celestia. Oh, and Victory's in these fights as well. So roll for her. Cool. Okay, Celestia, you are first. You see the glimmering form of the Mothman burst into existence, plunge his fists into Corzin, seeming to like quite physically strike him. Corzin sort of goes "Oof!" at one point, and you see his breath frost from the impact before the Mothman just vanishes into the ground.
I have a really weird impulse. Should we go with it?
Can we talk? Right, do we have to have a fight here? Do you want to get out of wherever this is too? Because we might have a goal in common.
Echoing around you, I am vengeance. I am the night.
What are you vengeance from? We literally have never met you.
My parents are dead.
I'm sorry to hear that, but that's not really anything to do with us. Killing us won't really make it better.
Can we please be friends to some capacity?
Your words do not appear to have a strong.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Do not strongly appear to evade you.
Is that my whole action gone? Probably.
I'm going to say that the talk is a free action. You kind of say this while you're doing other things. You can only hold an action. You have to use bonus actions or movement on your round.
Can I see him right now?
What's your passive perception? I seem to have lost
it's not as
passive,
high
which
as
is really
Corzin.
annoying.
I always forget how you.
10 plus your perception.
Yeah.
15.
You know what? Actually, yeah, because of this on this occasion, you can. He really flubbed his stealth check.
Oh, I know what I want to do.
So, in which case, yeah, you also hear the from and realise you can just hear the although the sound seems to be coming from around, it's strongest just behind the moth wagon.
Can I cast fairy fire on him?
Yes, you can. I think it's what, a dex save.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
And
That
because
is a
this
fail.
is drow shit, it looks a bit different to what Celestia normally
Yeah.
does. There's just like a sort of flick of the fingers light up and she just kind of goes, like, close it.
And yeah, a bunch of flickering purple purple glitters fling out and cling, illuminating the place around where Mothman is, making it, I guess, giving it's disadvantage to hide.
I'm literally going to get it up on my
Just
phone
double
right
check.
now.
Regardless, though, it does the purpose of very much highlighting for everyone else where Mothman is.
Yeah, I think even if you're invisible, it should. So.
Yes.
Sheds dim light in a
Sheds
10-foot
dim light in a
radius.
10-foot radius.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until
Any
until
attack
you're...
roll against them has advantage.
Yes. Attack rolls have advantage.
Affected creature or object can't benefit from being invisible because it's glowing.
Okay. Indeed, that definitely illuminates the broad location of Mothman. I think you've outed Mothman. You can see the glimmer coming now from behind the wagon. Especially given that right now, like, the only light source is the dancing lights and this. Actually, I think the dancing lights might go out once you stop focusing, don't they? Do they? Let me just check.
No, it's dancing lights concentration.
It's concentration.
It is.
Yep, the dancing lights go out, the purple lights go out, and instead Mothman becomes your source of light.
Yeah.
The moths
Fair enough.
actually start flying
And all the
towards him.
objects in the area. So
Yeah.
that 20-foot cube is going to be giving us some light.
Okay, so yeah, the moth wagon itself, and not the horse who like skitters and avoids it, but the wagon does glow with a dim phosphorescence.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you've bonus and movement. I'm going to say you can now all see that Mothman is about 20 feet from Celestia, 30 feet from Corzin and Scamp and Victory, who are all a bit more spread out.
Yeah, I think I'm going to stay where I am for now. I don't see a benefit to moving.
Okay. All right. In which case, that brings us to
Actually, hang on.
Oh yes.
Have I done a bonus action?
No.
No.
How injured are you looking?
Oh, I'm alright.
Oh, no, I have one that's just an inspiration.
I'm on like 3/4 health, so I'm fine.
Cool, I'll leave it.
Okay. Victory is going to run, seeing what's happening, runs around till she can see behind the wagon. He goes, "Oh fuck! Right, take this!" And snaps her fingers. Her hair stands on end with a charge, and a little jolt of lightning, like a thin lightning bolt, spears out the end of her finger and impacts. You are able to see in the illumination that it provides the outline of the now glimmering Mothman, who was already kind of like glowy before in an ethereal sort of way, but now is like really glowy, casting light, who is struck for some damage. However, he seems to flinch to it, but it also passes through him. It's not quite as effective, clearly, as she might have hoped. So that becomes... Cool. Okay, that brings us to Corzin.
Okay, so is he kind of on the other side of the
Of the
moth
wagon.
for
Yes,
me?
of the moth wagon.
Right, in which case then, I'm going to take advantage of my small size, slide underneath the wagon, and halt just right by where I think he is going to be and unload my blunderbuss into him.
Yeah, you have advantage on your attack because fairy fire.
Thank you very much.
I love fairy fire.
It's a really good spell, so don't use it.
It is. Okay. With advantage, that's only a 19, but does that hit?
That is enough to hit, and you're using Dishonored. So this is single shot, full impact, roll damage, please.
Okay.
Which I think is like 3d6 plus your dex bonus.
Yep, that is... Okay. 21 percussive.
Nice.
Nicely done. Okay. Right, with
That's probably echoing around the cave now.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
boy.
is. With the blast of force, the bullet, the slug shoots out, smacks the ethereal Mothman in the chest, and halts as if it's struck, as if it's striking a physical being. The Mothman is actually because it's the blunderbuss. Roll a strength check. The Mothman does make the DC, I think it's like 10 check to avoid being pushed back, but does physically react to it. His wings spread out, and you go.
Everything about this.
Your villainy will not avail you.
As a bonus action, I'm going to cast Slayer's Prey.
Okay. Your focus narrows in on him. Okay, this is going to be fun. Right, that makes us... That brings us to Mothman's turn. The Mothman... Actually, wait, no, you've dealt a total of 30 points of damage to the Mothman now. The Mothman, impacted in the chest as it was, seems to struggle and goes, I will hunt you down! And he seems to to tremble and shudder and then break apart, crumbling into 1,000 motes of light which seem to form into ethereal moths and then fly in every direction.
Is it still on him? Like, do I get the sense that it's still latched onto something?
Yes. It's your Slayer's Prey is weaken. It weakens. It's like it's strange. It's like it's being pulled in every direction, but it's still there. There is still something, but it's diffuse. Remind me of the precise powers of Slayer's Prey.
Slayer's Prey, you focus your eye on one foe, increasing harm that you can inflict on it, blah 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 blah. You designate one creature, and it only ends early if I designate a different creature.
Cool. Does it let you... Does it give you tracking powers or anything?
It doesn't give me tracking powers specifically, but what it does do is, if the thing is still alive,
you still feel it.
Yeah.
Okay. It it doesn't go, but it becomes strangely diffuse.
Aww.
As if Mothman has, at least temporarily, lost his cohesion.
Or that didn't kill him, but he's all over the place.
How do you mean?
I can still sense that I'm holding on to something, but it's like when he did that sort of poof thing, it's like it weakened somehow.
Okay.
Good
I
to
don't
know.
think he has the energy to literally pull himself back together for a little while.
Right, shall we leave?
I mean,
we've got some options of where to leave to.
Yes, do we fancy the scary metal spider web place, or do we fancy the scary roots place, or do we fancy the scary floaty dirt and bricks place? What are we into?
There's
Such
all
options.
that tunnel there.
there's
as
also
well.
like
Yeah, I was going
void
for the
that is
tunnel.
up with no way of getting
Just
there.
up.
Up's always an option.
I'm going to point out that I can only really fly for 10 minutes at a time per casting.
Yeah.
I might recommend. I don't want to risk us just flying up at random until we can figure out some more reliable way of figuring out.
No, it's a
of
terrible
learning
idea.
where it went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Good thought.
which do we fancy first on our exciting, lovely, lovely, lovely day?
Well, we are stood next to horrifying tunnel.
I love a tunnel.
You send some of your lights down ahead of us?
I mean, one of the other ones is a bit spider webby, which is, I think, pretty
Oh well,
equally
we've
bad.
got spiderweb and tunnel.
It's all your favourites.
And no sky anywhere, which is fine. I'm fine. Like, you know when somebody is fucking about but like genuinely slightly on the brink of tears?
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
get that kind
Yeah.
of energy. Like could have a little cry at any second.
Okay.
We could flip a coin.
We could literally flip a coin. Do you want to flip a coin?
I don't care. They hate today.
I think that's pretty fair.
Yep.
Right. We've got three decent options. I'm gonna flip this three-sided coin.
You get a series of coins to flip in turn.
So what is one of the options? Edge.
Yeah. If it lands on heads, then we're going on the spider webs metal thing. If it lands on tails, we'll go down the tunnel. And if it lands on its side, it's whatever the third one is that I've forgotten.
There's actually 4 options.
Up is not an option.
Yeah, but there's also that hole in the wall. with
Oh,
the-
the hole of the wall. Right, well, I'll get my
Like,
four-sided
maze
coin out
and-
then, shall I?
You could flip coins in turns, or we could just. Yeah,
Everyone have a fucking spinning
it's
top.
kind of up to you.
Right.
But we are already next to one of these.
Okay.
So
Heads is this tunnel. Tails is the spider web thing. On the side is the
Oh
hole
my god,
of
it's
the wall.
Corzin. Make a decision. Where
If
are we
it
going?
disappears into
The
nothingness.
tunnel. Come on, let's go.
Our
Let's
tunnel.
close
Going
one.
down the tunnel. I'm bored.
Thank
Let's
you.
go.
please tell me the order in which you want to proceed down the tunnel.
Corzin has all the eyes. Can you pick the front, please?
I'm
Yeah,
gonna put the
I
dancing
was
lights
planning
back
on it.
on.
Although,
Just for the record.
maybe we should be looking for any form of traps, because this might have been a secret tunnel that somewhat existed already.
Yeah.
It looks like it.
So maybe, Celestia, you go with Corzin at the front
Yeah,
and look for
sure.
the traps and
Sure.
things.
Just for the record, we're not allowed to die in here because I refuse to die in a tunnel.
So do I.
Yeah.
I refuse to die. Ever.
I'm also down with
that would be
that.
creepy.
Victory looks at the various pets.
Is this big enough we can just
I'm
walk
not
down?
leaving her, so shut up.
I can't leave them.
Can we at least leave the chicken? Do we carrying the cage with us? Or
Do you want to come back to a weird ghost chicken covered in moss going to try and kill us all? Is it bad enough that we're leaving the horse?
How do we know it won't?
Maybe we
it
should
won't-
bring the horse.
the horse probably won't fit. The
We can
rest of
make
you
it.
will.
What if we come back
Really
and
won't.
there's a cloud of tiny flying horses that
Would
fall
you
into
rather
a big
fight a
horse?
cloud of tiny flying horses or a ghost horse moth?
Leave the chicken in the stable. They can keep each other company.
Oh, fine.
No
I'll
fun,
leave
are
the
you?
chicken. But if we have to fight any form of chicken, I'm blaming you.
You find a chicken orangutan crossbreed wielding swords. So it's Corzin at the front, then Celestia, then Scamp and Victory bringing up the rear. Okay. You begin and animals in between and around, I suppose. So I guess Marjorie and Jeffrey can travel with Scamp very easily because they're small. Stormy is travelling in between Celestia and Scamp. The chicken is staying with the horse. Okay. At least for now. Victory breaks up. Corzin, you make your way down the tunnel first, illuminated by the violet lights. Ding, 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 ding. The tunnel... Can I ask you for a nature check, please?
Certainly. Okay, that is a 24.
The tunnel is a little weird. It's not... It's sort of in a strange... At first, its nature seems to change a little bit. Initially, there is signs of an impact, of stone violently broken. And then it seems almost like it gives way within about 5-10 feet to like a natural fissure that has opened up in the rock. And then it gets weird. It almost becomes not exactly regular, but it's more like the tunnel is composed of flattish planes of rock layered in a broad tunnel-like shape around you. And in places, it's not even a rock, there's just pieces of wood, what looks like bits of what used to be the table. Mm-hmm. You see a bit of... You see on one of them, just like hanging slightly loose, is a bit of Mothman's like intelligence reports on the city. It's a bit of the map of Newmark there.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm drawing a Mothman. Don't ignore me.
At least part of this seems naturally formed.
But it's not quite. Yeah. And the more you look at it, the more you realise the stone isn't quite blending as smoothly. It's almost like pieces of... It's almost like after about 60 feet or so, the tunnel looks less like it was bored out and more like it was assembled, constructed into place from pieces of stone and wood.
Oh, okay. So, like, it starts out as a naturally forming fissure, and then that has been added to by, like, artificial brickwork?
Almost, yeah, but there's no signs of artifice. It's more like if you imagine several stone slabs were smacked against each other in a kind of higgledy-piggledy fashion, and you were going down the middle of that.
Is it like when Scamp does fabricate for things?
Almost a little like that, yeah. Things have just been... Bits of material have been... feel like they've been thrown together into this tunnel.
Hey, Scamp, does any of this look kind of familiar to you? Like the way it's put together?
I guess it's sort of all a little bit like that fort I made, but I did a better job than this.
There is, now that you look at it, something in the things coming together into a shape, but doesn't feel like the level of focus or design that you would put behind it.
It's like they weren't really trying.
Well,
it just happened. It wasn't on purpose, almost.
Well, the point being, though, is that surely this indicates that somebody, however badly, had to physically cause this to happen, rather than it just being something naturally occurring.
I don't know.
Necessarily.
The tunnel, by the way, does slope downwards by and large as well.
Would a tunnel like this, if it were just made by like a projectile going through it, would it not be so unstable that the roof would collapse?
Maybe. Potentially.
Going to be paying attention to that through the eyes and the top of my head.
Which is good, because after a while you realise you see a gap in between some of these planes of rock, and there is void above.
Oh, it's opened up.
As you continue proceeding, now like maybe 600-700 feet down this continued tunnel, more of these gaps start to appear, like almost as if there was less and less rock to work with, and they start appearing in the sides now, up above, the occasional bit missing in the floor that you could put a foot through if you weren't careful.
Watch your step, everyone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put the lights like by the path so that we can see where the gaps are. Like,
Yeah, you do.
Good idea. Yep.
Which just
Floor
makes them
lighting.
really
Prismatic.
stand out, because they are just like blackest black. Nothing.
Well, this sucks. Yeah.
Yeah. Meow.
Should we
Yeah,
maybe
I
like
know.
tie ourselves together in case someone falls?
Wouldn't we then all fall?
Well, the idea is if one person falls, the others can brace them and pull them back.
Sure. Dunno. That's just
How
a bit
close
weird.
to like the end of this tunnel does it feel like we are?
Hard to say, because you can never really see more than 120 feet down. You're not there yet, though.
Okay.
There is more to go. You've been traveling for, like, I'm going to say by this point that you start noticing the first holes in the floor, you've already been traveling for close to 10 minutes.
Okay, so maybe we just like hold a rope.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
I don't know,
that's
we
a
can
good
drop
probably
it
a
if
good
we
idea.
need to, but just so it's there.
I mean, there was that long coil of silk that you got out
yeah,
of
that
the
bollocks. Let's use that.
out of Mothman's kit.
300
which-
feet. Yep.
Great.
Right, let's.
Do you think maybe this is what that was for?
Oh, I hope not. That's like, I don't want Mothman to know about this place.
We do have
It
a
makes
grappling
Mothman
hook
more
launcher
worrying.
as well. We can launch a grappling hook if we need to at any point,
Oh yeah.
which might be quite helpful.
Is anyone not able to like catch themselves if they're falling? Who's got no way of doing that? You can't.
Put
do
my
that.
hand up.
Corzin's not really.
Oh
got
wait,
any
no,
way of
I've
doing-
got my my shitty gliding moth cloak,
Yes.
so I can fall
Slower.
slightly slower.
And then we can catch up to you potentially.
Maybe.
Yeah, because obviously Scamp and I can fly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Corzin, do you want a grappling thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, have that.
Might take that.
Because don't get me wrong, I don't think this cloak will do much, but it might be a little slower,
It'll slow you down enough that one of us can catch you.
potentially.
Yeah.
Like magically catch you. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Or
This-
fly after you.
Starts to become very appropriate as you kind of spread out the rope and each take a hold of it and give Corzin the grappling
I'm
hook.
gonna pick the cat
Launcher.
up.
Stormy
We
is
feel
very
that.
happy to be picked up in this circumstance and is starting to get a little uncomfortable.
I know, honey. It's okay. I'm sorry.
Jeffrey is like,
You hold on tight, Jeffrey. You'll be all right. Yeah. Exactly, Marjorie.
Marjorie's actually seeming a little bit more relaxed now that the roof is opening up and she feels a little less underground.
That's fair.
Indeed, the roof almost pretty much gone by this stage. Peering back, you've gone too far, but for your dark vision to see it. But you imagine somewhere back beyond there is the mansion, just hanging in the void. The first is the roof that goes. Then one wall.
What do you mean?
There just stops being roof to this tunnel. You're just in a increasingly more broken up sort of pipe with missing a top, U-shaped pipe. Then one wall goes for a bit, and there's just floor and one wall. Then floor, but like the opposite wall. And there's a bit where there's just floor and sometimes wall.
I hate it.
And the wall and the floor starts to get less complete. So you're having to really like watch your step. And then up ahead you realise it shifts, and there's and these flat planes are more, you can now see, are just jagged. They're not like perfect cubes or anything. It's more like, you know when you get crystalline like structures of rock.
Mm-hmm.
Long shards of those clumped together to form this walkway. And they're less even. There's jagged edges, which is good because it gives, extra footholds and so on. And after about 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes of travel, it's kind of hard to tell time, the floor gives way to a long stretch where there is no floor, but there are handholds and footholds on one side. If you want to proceed, you either need to climb or to fly.
This is the worst.
We did this once before and I fell.
Yep.
There was like a sea of monstery things.
Tell me about that another time over drinks.
How am I going to get this cat along here?
I mean, we've probably got enough other rope that we could... Wait, hold up. Didn't one of you mention you got a climbing harness?
Yes, I have a climber's kit.
I've got one too now.
You could probably harness the cat to you.
That might be a good idea.
Probably sensible.
She's going to be so mad. You're going to be so mad, aren't you?
Oh, she's going to dig her claws in so much. You're glad of that arm. You're kind of glad of your armoured waistcoat. She's already digging her claws into you, and you're thanking Fighty for making this.
Yeah, I'm probably going to harness the cat to me, unless, would it be better to use the harness for something else? And I'll tie the cat to me. That sounds terrible.
Anyone good at climbing and feel super confident?
I'm alright at climbing.
I'm used to climbing up and down rigging.
Climbing is
Same.
dex, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Well, actually, no, it's
athletics.
athletics.
Oh, no, I'm fucking shit at climbing because blood magic.
But the climber's kit does give you advantage.
But
If
I've
you
got a
have it.
climber's kit, so I'm a bit better than rubbish. Yeah.
I have a climber's kit now. I'm still rubbish at climbing.
We can harness the cat to me and you to cause it.
So, just to clarify our current situation.
That
all
was
of
a joke.
you-
That's not a decision.
No, but just to clarify, all of you are holding rope
Yeah.
connecting you to each other. You've all got silk. You're all holding silk rope. At this stage, no one's got any climbers harnesses on yet.
It might be now that we should
Tie the
actually
rope.
tie ourselves
Yep.
together.
Let's
I think
attach
that
ourselves
was maybe a
before
good
we do
idea.
anything else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, I will do the prerequisite knots.
Is there any side of the other side? How far off, where it stops being just wall? Can we see?
It definitely continues being wall for the next 120 feet.
I'm gonna give Scamp inspiration.
Go.
You're so good at climbing. Look at you go. Yeah.
You've always been a bad liar.
I'm a great liar when I'm not this stressed. Fuck you.
I'm a better liar than you.
You get
are,
inspiration.
Possibly. I actually don't know. What is your deception out of
I think you
curiosity?
actually are a bit liar than me. My perception is +7.
Haha, I'm a better liar than you. I just don't lie very often.
Okay.
Because I'm still in
Paying.
debt for some
Yep.
truths.
Yeah, you're still paying.
It's true. I've got to remember
How
to
many
use
of
those
those
up.
have you got left?
I can't remember.
You've
off
got
the top
4
my
of
head.
those left.
Yeah, that sounds about
Okay.
right.
Okay. You tie like rope loops around your waists, connecting up
Harness
to
the cat
harness.
to me.
You harness the cat to you.
Jeffrey, get in the bag.
Ow, ow.
In the bag, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey gets to the bag, holding his spear. Marjorie just continues to perch because Marjorie is Marjorie.
Fred,
Can
do you
fly.
need to climb since you've got a sort of... People can see you here, but I can't. It's totally unfair, by the way.
Not really. We're here on the... We're in the place where... Sorry. Not really. We're in the place where... where that rainbow... that rainbowish spirit and the octopus and so on are...
Are you a duck?
I think I understand what they're saying, and only if I choose to be.
Everyone gets to be a duck but me. I hate it. Okay.
Friend doesn't get to be a duck. Only we're a duck.
Don't think of yourself as not being a duck. Think of yourself as being one of the first fish to grow legs.
I'm going to write that on my wall. I don't know what it means, but I'm writing it on my wall.
So you're a leg fish,
Yeah.
like a crab.
No, like a fish
Like
with
a
people
leech?
legs.
Oh
It
God.
might be a leech.
Which is weird because I don't have people.
Like-
I got hooves, so.
Like a
Oh.
reverse mermaid?
Lux
Oh,
sort
no.
of smacks
Oh God's causing.
Lux
Why would you
smacks
do
her
that?
forehead.
A fish
Don't
with like an ass.
encourage them.
Always encourage them. You're so
I
boring.
think it's fun. I assure you, I'm not boring.
You're extremely boring.
Fuck off.
Fuck you. Can we climb now? Because this cat is fucking destroying my bag.
Yeah. Let's do the thing.
Okay. I would like an athletics check
It's fine to
from
have pets in D&D.
everyone, please.
I love her with my whole heart.
What do I trust? I've
I've
got advantage because of the climber's kit.
Oh.
Oh, do we have advantage? Yeah.
Wait, who's got the
Oh,
other
no.
climber?
Whoever's wearing the climber's kit
You've got the other climber's
Oh,
kit, don't
yeah.
gets
Right,
advantage.
cool.
No, yeah, Corzin doesn't. Celestia's got one. I've got one. 'cause
Victory
We're
doesn't.
both
Oh, it's
terrible
really
at it.
good with advantage.
Also,
Right, that's a 12.
21.
rolled a 17, which is a 16.
Okay, Corzin at the front.
The
You
pain
can
sharpens my mind.
slowly you begin making your way across. It is slow work. The first 10, 20, 40 feet, 60 feet in, you hear a sort of from the back, and you feel a tug as Victory falls for a moment, then quickly taps her own chest, and there's a flash of light and a gust of wind, and she floats back up, grabs the wall again.
You're right, darling.
Yeah.
Good, lovely.
Lost my grip there for a moment, but I
It's a
can.
close one.
Like I said, short little flights, easy for me to do.
Okay.
Good to know. Let's try not to do that again.
Yeah. That's the other
Costerous.
thing, it made the cat jump and I felt it. Ow.
Yeah, Stormy ain't enjoying this. Also, Victory had to spend a spell to get that, but she has now cast Major Armor on herself, which she had also forgotten to do prior to this. So,
Lol.
It's alright. I've forgotten how to do it entirely.
Forgot so many times that it's gone.
Yeah. The memory has faded. But I have
The-
my fancy new armour, so it's fine.
yeah,
I'm so glad it was time.
so glad.
Only took like 150 episodes.
50 feet,
157.
100 feet past. Still no sign of the floor. The cracks, the space in between handholds is starting to get more and more. You're having to stretch out to manage. I need another set of athletics checks, please.
17.
12 again.
18.
Okay. Collectively.
Me and my lovely -1.
Still
Slow
managed
going
to
for
keep
Corzin.
together. Little flickering in the distance. Flickering in the distance, you see a single moth. One moth float
do
in
you
the
want?
distance. Land briefly. Float towards Celestia, I'm going to say. Try to land on your nose.
Hit it.
Corzin, you still got
It
that,
flutters
that,
away.
that thing with where you could feel the moth person nearby?
Yep.
Oh, they're still somewhere.
Are they still as
Diffuse, but
bits of them?
intensifying. Feel
Yeah,
things.
it's still out there. I think he's trying to pull himself back together.
Okay.
It's feeling more and more intense now. Like there's some, but there's no way but onwards. One more check, please.
If it feels like it not pulls himself together properly, Corzin, let me know, because I think that might be a time for a fly.
Understood.
13.
I mean, I
16.
can't tell direction, but he'd be back where he was. The last athletics was a 14.
Okay, 13, 16, 14, and victories as well. You hit a point where you're actually having to almost there's one point where they're spaced out enough, you just almost have to swing and jump to get across the distance. But you manage it.
I hate it.
Keep going. You're going. And just as you are hitting that point, you cause it more and more of these butterflies are starting to float in from the distance, and then you realize are starting to float in from the edge of that range, glimmering with light. Corzin, you feel the intensity growing, and the moths suddenly swirl together into the form of Mothman.
Alpha.
I am returned!
Nobody cares!
Roll initiative, please.
This is a terrible place for a fight.
Oh yeah, you're all strung to each other along the thing.
I did better than last
23.
time. I rolled a 2,
17.
so that's a 4. A whole 1 higher than last time.
Done.
Next time I'll roll a 3.
Ooh. Imagine if it just went up like that. Oh.
I would assume that we were living in a simulation and it was glitching horribly.
Yeah.
If every time I rolled it went 1 up, I'm like, no.
This is
Okay.
the end. Yeah.
Mothman with a natural 20 goes first.
Awesome.
Damn it.
Takes a bonus action. Shifts strangely in a way that you're not quite sure. Interestingly, you can still see there is a hole where Corzin shot him before.
Hi.
Is that in his chest? Or?
Yeah, sort of chest area. It's not completely incapacitated him, but it's that shot seems to have kept in some way.
I'm
And
gonna aim higher next time.
the Mothman focuses on you, Corzin. Opens his mouth wide. And then dives towards you. Putting his hands forwards, his wings trailing before him, and tries to and sort of punches you with both fists right in the gut. Make a charisma save, please.
Oh no.
14?
He punches you in the gut and goes into you.
Ah, fuck.
Inside, you see the Mothman is sucked into Corzin's belly, becoming a swarm of moths, and then Corzin's eyes glow with light. Corzin, you are possessed.
I was worried about that. Yeah.
Done the thing I didn't think.
Okay, so, I guess On Corzin's turn, then, you are the nearest person to you is Celestia. You're all about 10 foot apart from each other. So going down this list, Celestia is 10 foot from Corzin, Scamp's 20 feet, Victory's 30 feet away along this long chain. Because he's using your body, can I ask you to make an athletics check, please, to jump at Celestia?
Okay.
And then,
I mean, now I roll a 21, of course.
okay, Corzin turns, his eyes glowing, draws both his blades, so Death and Riptide, and is going to and leaps at Celestia, making 4 attacks.
Shit.
So interesting. Okay, well, I mean, the first.
Are you using my stats for this?
His attacks,
Okay,
but
fine.
your damage. Although
fuck.
the first 2 attacks, I'm going to roll all 4 because. God. Right, Celestia, does a 16 hit your armor class?
I think it is my armor class. Yes.
Okay.
It does. It does appear.
Fortunately for Corzin's body, unfortunately for you, I'm going to roll this at random. Riptide manages to connect with you. Corzin, roll damage for Riptide, please, because he's using your body.
7.
Okay, you take 7 points of damage, and Riptide lodges, kind of.
The lowest I could possibly have rolled.
Yeah, it's more like it's almost a flesh wound. Most of it goes through your clothing, but it slices through the upper part of your the bit where you're just above your shoulder blade, like way at the top of in between like your shoulder and your neck. And the blade catches, allowing Corzin's body to hang on to you. He tries to slash at you with the other blade 3 times, with Death. Because of the difficulty of the arrangement, he's unable to gain purchase. But on the bright side, one of those attacks succeeded, so Corzin does not immediately fall into the void either.
Somewhere in there he's resisting.
Yeah. You can see Corzin's glowing eyes looking around frantically, but his face is composed into a rictus of rage. And you just hear him call out, "I am the knight!" Okay, so...
Because I'm Mothman.
Pirate Mothman! Victory is going to call out, "Fuck! What do I do?"
I don't know. Get the moth out of there.
Something.
Okay, this is going to be fun.
Help.
She is going to try and, panicking, just do a lot of her stuff is really either really powerful or not suited to the situation. So in lieu of casting Thunder Wave, she's going to sort of lean out from the rock pieces of floating rock, and again flick her fingers, hair flashing up on end, and send a jolt of lightning at Corzin this time. Does a 15 hit your armor class?
15 does not.
Okay, using your reflexes, Mothman jolts to the side, and the little lightning bolt sails off into the distance ineffectively. So much for that. Yeah, most of her special abilities and so on can't be used unless she's directly attacked. That brings us to Celestia. You are 10 feet from Corzin, who is possessed.
I'm going to do something a bit left field that I haven't done for a while. So basically, Rainbow Spirit properly becomes a flowing cloak of majesty, if you will. And I'm going to invoke the Mantle of Majesty, the Glamour Bard ability, which means I can cast Command as a bonus action without expending a spell slot. All the veins and shit just glow up like super fucking massive rainbow. Yes.
As a side effect, your Mothman cloak, which you're wearing, flays outwards and glows with rainbow, like in full rainbow technicolor.
I mean, Celestia is already starting to look a little bit otherworldly in the bone structure, etc., but it gets more. And I'm going to look into Corzin's eyes with the intention of looking at Mothman and just go out.
Okay. Mothman rolls a wisdom save.
I was thinking of doing that.
Ooh, what is your DC these days?
I think it's 18.
You get into tingle.
I'm doing the thing. Take 3 off whatever they rolled.
Okay, you see Corzin react as if physically staggered, and we'll see what Mothman does on Mothman's turn.
Yeah, I mean, I can still do other things.
Yes.
What else can I do?
Sorry, you're not 10 feet from Corzin. You are right next to Corzin because Corzin's on you. I got that wrong.
Yeah, I really need to do Mantle of Majesty more because I forget it's a thing. Is it concentration? It is concentration.
Is this a charm effect, though? Is that the thing?
Any creature charmed by me automatically fails its save, but it is just casting command.
I'm just going to check the command spell because if the
Enchantments. Control. I'm not saying the word.
I'm not
yes,
sure.
It's a lot of these types of spells. Like dominate person say that a creature is charmed. So if a creature is immune to charm, it will affect them. Command does no fuck.
Oh.
The spell has no effect if the target is undead.
Oh.
Balls.
I really wanted that to work, but it's explicit in that one. What I will say is it's currently possessing Corzin.
I mean, does it look like it's working? Because I'll do something else.
Corzin, make a charisma save, please. On a roll, it gives you a chance to try and throw it out.
That's a 6.
You can see that there's a moment where Corzin, tried... You saw a moment of Corzin, re-emerge in the face before the wrath overtook it. So it looks like it did something, but it wasn't quite enough on its own. So...
Try to decide what spells are worth wasting.
Yeah, that's your feeling. It made a difference, but it wasn't quite able to do it on its own.
I don't know if it's immune to charm. Everything else is a charm. Is suggestion a charm? So I still have an action, so I might as well do something else if I can.
Let me just check.
I'm not sure off the top of my head.
I've got the spell card, but it doesn't actually say. Oh, creatures that can't be charmed.
Can't be
are
charmed
immune to
in
this
this
effect.
effect.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can or not. Probably not.
You can't. Then you get. I'm going to say you get the.
Do I get information?
You get
from
the
this?
feeling from the way that So the sense you get from casting this is that it's not affecting Mothman. Mothman's too single focus, too wrath filled for that type of mind influencing magic to work. The command did give you a chance. It did seem to crack open the door a little bit to help Corzin, but it wouldn't hurt. But it didn't work on Mothman directly.
I'm going to cast suggestion on Corzin.
Okay.
Get him out of you.
Okay, I'm going to say that will let you.
Sorry.
I'm going to say that Corzin. First of all, do you volunteer?
Suggestion
do
is
you choose
ongoing.
Do you choose to fail this?
Yes. If person has any say in the matter, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say this gives you just enough of an edge that on your turn each round, you may, for as long as this effect is in place, you can use your action to try and force Mothman out.
I've killed Mantle
Perfect.
Majesty, unfortunately, but if it wasn't
Okay.
working anyway, then
Yeah.
fuck it.
That's fair enough. But it gives you the flare initially. And then you do that. Okay, so Corzin, on your turn, you'll continue to have a chance of shunting this thing out.
Got it.
That's a charisma save, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's just a charisma save rather than I get to do an action.
I'm going to say you'll be able to use your action to try and charisma save your way out of it. Basically, to try and force the...
I can't do anything else, though.
You'll be able to use bonus actions if you successfully force Mothman out.
Right, okay.
But the initial getting Mothman out, harder. Okay.
So it would be perfect for this if I could cast it, but yeah.
Turns out our temporary hit points have gone off on Metal of Inspiration.
Ooh.
I was looking at my other bard abilities to see if I got any other inspiration from
No. Excellent. That's not what you cast, so it's not immediately relevant.
Oh, no, sorry. I was just idly reading.
That's right.
Continue.
Scamp.
Oh boy.
You are now 15 feet from Corzin because Corzin is on Celestia.
Okay. What's a terrible idea? This is a terrible idea. How tight is the rope tied around Corzin?
There's quite a lot of give. You put it between all four of you, so there's in terms of space in between you all, you've got a good 60 foot of rope between each of you. In the event
Where is
forward.
it tied around on Corzin?
Around my waist,
waist.
probably.
What animal has a similar circumference to Corzin's waist and would not be a
Stormy,
danger
probably.
in a fight?
Like any number of creatures, like you tell me.
Maybe a fat rabbit. I'm trying to think of something I can polymorph him into that won't just immediately
Like
fall
a
out
very
the
long,
rope.
like there's some breeds of hair are pretty big.
There are like house rabbits that are
Yeah.
chunky.
Yeah.
Like the size
I
of
wouldn't
small
want to
dogs.
fight them though, because they've got a kick. So maybe not a rabbit.
I mean,
Very large guinea pig.
Very large. Why are we just now
I mean,
thinking of like pets?
That's a
don't
monster
know.
guinea
Because what
pig.
we need is another pet.
Definitely. We don't have
Um,
enough already.
What is the most harmless animal anyone can think of that is a bit big?
Big snail. I don't know.
Some of the larger house lizards, maybe?
I wouldn't want to fight a lizard. It's got to be a big fat rabbit because that's all I can think of.
Okay.
I'm going to polymorph Corzin into a big fat rabbit.
wisdom save.
It is. Yep, wisdom.
What's your DC?
18.
Okay, you focus your magic in. A series of golden planes of light appear around Corzin, and Corzin seems to slightly contract as shaping around him is the body of a fat rabbit.
I'm sorry, Corzin.
A fat, what colour?
Sort of Corzin colours.
Okay,
Like,
sort of
like-
brown
It's got
rabbit
like a waistcoat.
with floppy
Sandy.
It's
ears.
got a
Palomino
waistcoat
sort of
colour.
colour.
Like, yeah, it's like it's wearing Corzin's clothes. but in
Okay, it's
colour
where
and patterns.
it's got like a waistcoat and for some reason a pocket watch.
Red sash.
And a bunch of eyes.
And just like little eye-like rings in its fur. Yeah, Corzin,
You're a rabbit.
you're so conscious of all this, so yeah, you are a rabbit now.
I look like a rabbit that's late for its appointment at relay.
Oh.
Okay, that brings us to the top of the round, and I didn't think I would need to know this, but let me just check whether it's an action or a bonus action to relinquish this now useless form.
That was my hope.
Because one way, it ain't Mothman ain't bothering to
Calm
stick
down.
around.
Also, the rabbit probably doesn't have guns, so
Indeed, the guns
You
and
might have actually helped us quite a bit.
and the
molded
swords
into the rabbit's form.
do mould into the form. So yeah, you watch as the rabbit's eyes flash and Mothman bursts back out, calling out, "You will not prosper, evildoers!" And is going,
Rude.
and he's going to attack the nearest person, which is Celestia, making 4 attacks with "My fists are vengeance."
Oh no.
12 doesn't hit. 14 doesn't hit. 20.
16 or above.
Cool. Okay, so 2 of the 4 attacks hit, which means you take. Flippin' heck, 38 points of necrotic damage. You're not resistant to necrotic, are you? No. Yeah, it's radiant you're resistant to or something. It's lightning you're resistant to. That's it. Yeah. So you take 38 points of necrotic damage as you feel the chill of Mothman's fists punch through and into you, taking the breath out of you, and you feel your flesh grow cold and withered when it strikes.
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah.
Stormy's on my back. Can she do anything?
Yes, Stormy. I guess Stormy hasn't acted yet, so Stormy can act on your turn. I'll
Has the
say.
rabbit landed on Celestia, or is it hanging from the rope?
This is a good point. The rabbit doesn't really have the ability to grasp, so the rabbit falls and hangs 60 feet below.
Like sort of
Catching.
penduluming backwards.
Which is actually a
and forwards.
valid point. Celestia, roll an athletics check.
I'm
You've got
sorry.
running with advantage, because you got the climber's kit, to stay on the wall as the sudden downward pressure of rabbit causes
It's
it.
fine. 21.
You claw-like grip onto the floating wall and manage to stay in place. Okay, Mothman finishes his turn next to Celestia, which brings us to
Stormy do anything?
You know what? Stormy didn't act last turn, so sure. Let's say Stormy held action. She can attack.
I just had we hadn't decided on anything.
Oh, sorry. Stormy
What
can
is
act
Stormy's
on your
attack?
round.
We've never done this before. Help.
+4.
+4. 19. Fuck Mothman.
Stormy does actually manage to hit. She gets 2 attacks, so roll again.
18.
Just manages to hit twice.
Yay.
1d... I think she does 1d8 +2.
Okay, so I do that twice.
Ooh.
9.
Okay, 9 for the first one.
10.
Whoa.
Yeah,
She-
Stormy.
It's less than fully effective, but she does manage to do a total of 9 points of damage.
Woo.
Zap zap.
So I'll mark that as damage done to Mothman as Stormy sort of 2 lightning bolt-like tendrils emerge from her back and smash into the ethereal form of Mothman, leaving his form slightly dissolute in their wake. Stormy got some attacks on it.
You're the best kind of. Yes.
Okay, that brings us to Corzin's go.
Can I drop concentration?
Yes.
Now that the rabbit
Yeah, you
is
can
no
drop
longer
concentration as a free
possessed.
action. So, Corzin, you fall, suddenly hang, abruptly hang, and your form breaks as you regain both your physical form and control of your body. You're now hanging 60 feet below Celestia, swinging slightly, with your blades already drawn.
Am I still 60 feet below Mothman?
Yes, you are exactly
Okay.
60 feet below Mothman.
Right, then I have the perfect thing. Right, okay.
Who's
I
still
am
your
going to-
slaying spray.
oh, excellent. That's good to know.
Yeah, that hasn't
But
gone.
I
You
will-
haven't taken a short rest.
Yeah, I will
The rabbit.
make
has
a
Slayer's
wide arc
prowess.
with my sword, sort of gesticulate towards him and say, "Piss off, ghost!" and cast banishment.
Ooh. Nice. This is a charisma save, right?
Yes. Target must succeed the charisma saving throw. DC 16.
Oh, I'm sorry, natural 20.
Oh, God, I can't do
damn
anything
it.
on
You
that.
see the octopus reaches out with its tentacles, and Mothman struggles for a moment, like it's binding him, and his arms crossed, and then he sort of breaks out of the grip.
Alright,
No,
at least you.
No crime can contain me.
Okay, can I at least use my movement to climb back up a little bit?
Yes, you can. You can climb at half movement, or give me an athletics check. Actually, let's see if you can do. If you want to.
Yeah, I'll get that. Athletics check it. Okay, that is a 26.
Okay, it's a fucking hard climb because it's a vertical rope, but you've done this shit before. You managed to get
Sailor.
you got full 25 feet up. Like, you are clambering up. Celestia, you just feel the dragging forcing you the whole time. But each tug is causing is like clambering upwards.
A lot of damage. There's a cat hanging off my back
Yeah.
already.
But yeah, well, okay, Corzin, good try. He didn't like that. Nearly that. I think that almost any other roll would have succeeded.
God damn it. Okay, right.
Okay, Victory, seeing that the Mothman is no longer right next to you, is going to go for. Yeah, under the circumstances, she's going to go for something. Oh, fuck no, she's not. The next most powerful spell she has is Lightning Bolt, and there are people in between her and.
Yeah, fair.
Nope, she's got a smart and stupid idea, which only Victory would do. So fuck it, she'll do it.
Yay.
Victory launches herself off the wall to clear so that she's no longer got Celestia and Scamp in between her and Mothman. And in the moment she's like going up and falling, puts both her hands out. There's a crackle of lightning around them and a solid blast of lightning, just a line of it, shoots out, smashes into the wall in the process, and through the Mothman, who's going to make a not death save, he's going to make a dex save, and fail.
Yay.
I think it's 6, his default is 60. 66 or 86 for Lightning Bolt. Sensible DM would have written that on his character sheet. There we go. Okay, she can do 8d6 lightning damage.
Woo.
Okay, with a... you see the Mothman is directly impacted. Again, it's frustratingly not quite as effective. Something about his ethereal nature makes it harder to leave a lasting hit without causing these attacks. The wall, however, does take the damage, and you see some of the handholds ahead blasted away,
Well, I
and
guess
as
we're
they
flying.
come loose, they fall down forever into the dark.
It's fine.
Shit!
It's fine.
Also, though, as she casts this, again, there's that gust of wind, and it allows her to fly back to the handhold and get hold of it again. So she does not also fall down into the darkness.
Good.
That is Victory's go. Celestia, Mothman stands before you, and Stormy can act on your round.
Fuck you. I'm gonna cast Dissonant Whispers.
Oh, okay, psychic damage time.
Yep.
Wisdom save?
Yep.
Nope.
Pretty bad. That is 10 damage.
10 total damage.
Yep. I did a low one because I'm really worried about using up all my spells and we don't know where we are.
Is fair. With a sudden, you see Mothman recoils and flies straight backwards, his form cracking in places, and he like flies back like he's being pulled away on strings, like astonishingly far, all the way down what's left of this corridor, and starts crumbling into moths as he goes. There's a few tense moments. Mothman, for now, is gone. Corzin, you feel again that's your sense of your slayer's prey. Mothman is dissolute, broken, but not gone for good.
So we're fighting Mothman in the void, and it's really funny.
Yeah, fuck all of you. Yeah.
Corzin, you're not a rabbit anymore, are you? No, you're not.
No, evidently not.
You sure?
No, definitely 2 regular-sized ears, and not all that much fur.
How much longer is this fucking bastard just climbing bullshit? My back hurts now.
Indeed,
I will do my best to take the strain off Celestia's back.
Oh, I mean, you can't because it's caused by a cat that's clicking. So
once you clamber up and with a little bit of effort of swinging, Corzin, you're able to get onto the next piece, and with it takes time, but all of you are able to get across this next piece, and although the rocks don't become any more frequent immediately, they do once again become floor, allowing you to rest your feet on more stable ground before you continue on. And we'll pick up there after these, no doubt important, messages.
Okay, so I got this great idea for a hero character. He can't do magic, but he's got a terrible dark backstory. His parents were killed, and now he is a one-man army fighting for vengeance against crime. So we got a tragic backstory, a strong motivation. We just gotta think of something else. I got it. He's rich.
And welcome back. After a little bit of a short while more clambering, the wall gives way to flooring. Still sparse, but with the same broken pieces of stone. Wide enough that you're having to stretch your legs, or in a couple of cases jump a little bit, but you aren't needing to fly it across sections. And then they start getting thicker again. More pieces arranging. And, although you do notice also more of these little moths here and there. They don't seem to be like clustering towards you though. There's just one or two just like hanging on a wall or floating by. Again, this time it's all these luminescent, almost ethereal looking moths. And then you encounter, as the pieces of rock that make uneven rock that make up the floor become more regular, you find one that is not like the others. So the stone has been a sort of let me just make a choice here. Yeah, the stone has been a sort of mix of kind of like dull off-white, greyish and brownish stone. Basically the kind of series of sandstones, different types of sandstone you get on the edge of cliffs, by and large, occasionally with bits of striation.
Is it the kind of rock from where we were, or is this...
Up to this point, the rock has been pretty similar to the rocks that were in the cliffside near Newmark. However, you encounter the first fragment of stone that instead is pure white and intensely fine-grained, almost like marble in its fine grain, but with no veins, or indeed marbling to it.
So like alabaster?
Very close to it, yes. But
Is it stone we've seen before anywhere, or is this new?
kneeling to inspect it, you give me your choice of nature or just straight wisdom, please.
Nature.
Anyone?
Then I will. What do I know about rocks today? Nothing. I know nothing about rocks today.
I know
That's
many
a
about
13.
rocks. 22. I know 22 rocks.
I know 5 rocks.
Celestia, you grew up literally surrounded by
I
rock.
love rocks.
You know a lot about rock, and you recognise this rock because you have seen it before, but not in the Underdark. This is cloudstone. The material, the very, very dense and regular, sort of almost like platonic ideal of stone that the giants worked with, of Sunder worked with.
Oh, that's that giant stone from all the cool Atune cities.
Yeah.
You remember
So-
it's forming the large parts of the walls of Inyan,
Yeah,
and indeed also in the ruins of Fen.
Huh. What is that doing here?
That's
Well-
a very good question.
I mean, it's only a guess, but it's possible that whatever we've been moving through for the past little while is corresponding to what would have been there back on... What's the right... back on our point of origin.
Hang on. Victory, you think that this is where your chests go, yes?
Yeah, pretty sure.
We might not be the only thing here then.
No.
But giants could use your type of magic I just threw at Victory and Scamp, couldn't they?
Yeah.
So,
Really?
what we think, it's a
Okay.
theory.
I mean, some of the things we can do,
Yeah.
they could do. And it might just be
And
the...
it maybe got forgotten, sort of thing.
Like the stepping
That
stones,
makes
the
sense.
circles.
Yeah.
Giant. Yeah.
But my point is,
Right.
if there were giants that could do this back in the day, what if there are some like giant fortresses here?
That's not unreasonable.
What if there isn't a way out and they're just still here?
And we're fucked.
Oh, you speak giant, right?
I do, yes. Although I've actually had no one to really practice with, so I don't know if
Your accent's going to be terrible.
Your accent's
but-
gonna be fucking wild, but I mean, it's better than any of us can do.
All right. Well, if we run into any giants, I have a fair idea. At least I could, have a short conversation, ask them the way to the local baths, kind of thing.
Yeah, because we're
Oh,
all.
so you're
in-
gonna say, like,
we
2 beers,
definitely need a
please?
bath.
To any giants that we meet.
Oh,
It's like trying to speak to. It's very much like trying to speak to actual first century BC Romans with your understanding of
Schoolboy
Latin.
Latin.
With schoolboy Latin.
Like,
with a
could
little bit of Italian
technically
thrown in
work.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Desperate help.
As you proceed, you can,
Sturcus, Moriartus, sum.
yeah. You carry on as you move forwards, and the floor begins to fill out more. More and more pieces of cloudstone fill in the gaps where the cliffstone was, and suddenly you hit a point where you catch the faintest glimmer of light up ahead.
We're all seeing that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's standing out like
Like,
Like light
a
in
light
some dark
yeah,
void.
like light in the dark. maybe there's like a little crack, or maybe it's just a real long way off. The floor is now floor enough for Stormy to walk, so she's like scrabbling.
You're not going to fling yourself off, are you? Okay.
Carefully
I
extricate
keep
your
a little
cat.
bit of rope like on a
Okay.
collar, but I don't like keep that on me.
She flicks off and sort of bounds around for a few moments before seeming to calm down, and then sort of relaxes. Just glad to be on the ground again.
I'm sorry, I know this has been terrible. I know I love you.
She pads along behind you.
Yes, indeed.
Oh yeah,
Just the worst.
What
It's
is
like you're
wrong
taking
with
your cat for a walk.
through the
I'm
endless
picturing,
void.
yeah.
Like tied to a belt loop.
Yeah.
Like I've put something on. I assume I've got some number of collar at this point. I thought that's extra enough that I probably would have done it.
Yeah. I'm going to say that in the intervening time, you found her a nice purple collar with a big rhinestone on it.
Yeah.
That would have happened.
That tracks.
You keep walking. There is light. It is a fair distance off. It takes you another 10 minutes or so just to get towards it. But this corridor is straight. And as you approach, you realize the light is... It's light shining through an aperture. And you can see illuminated faintly the end of this tunnel, which builds back. The walls start building back up, and something approaching a ceiling. And because of that wall and ceiling, you can't really see beyond what's around it. Like, there's enough tunnel that it kind of comes into full tunnel way more than 120 feet ahead, so your dark vision doesn't show whatever's around the end of this. But carrying on, it's almost like a shock when you hit light again. Faint, filtered, slightly rosy, coming through what appears to be just a broken... What from this side you can see looks like a broken doorway of pale stone in some sort of arch. And like when you're close enough that you can just peer through without getting right up next to it, you catch a hint of some sort of room beyond with what looks like maybe sunlight filtering into it and bright painted colours.
Well, this is new.
Yeah. They got a day orb or something.
Possibly.
Like, is that a solarium? Is that what we're looking at?
Maybe.
Only one way to find out.
I mean, this is solidly out of my wheelhouse.
Oh, don't get me wrong, darling. Same, but theories, you know?
Yeah.
Right, should we go look then?
Yeah, we can't hear anything, can we? There's not.
Roll a perception check.
Oh
Are
no.
there voices or anything?
I will.
Yeah,
That's hearing, so
23.
advantage, but
23?
8.
They rolled really well.
17.
You
Oh, sorry, 22. I can't do
22.
maths.
You strain your ears. What would you be able to hear? Faintly. A distant, very, very faintly, you think you can hear rustling. And it's not surprising because, again, dotted down this hallway are more of these little iridescent moths. I feel like you can hear Yeah, like distant, not like the heavy sort of Mothman's approach. Just like little...
All I can hear is moths, but only a few, not a scary amount or anything. I don't trust moths anymore.
Well,
Can add it to the list of things we don't trust.
Yeah.
Hooray!
they're at least in keeping with this place, and it's not him trying to reconstitute himself, I'm fairly certain.
Mothman still feels dissolute to you.
Oh, that's good to know.
There's something.
I guess we take a look.
Agreed.
Stealthily? I don't even know if we can get away with that here.
Everyone roll a stealth check, please.
I feel like everyone knows we're here.
Disadvantage, or is it because it's noise? I think?
11.
It's disadvantage for outfits. So,
Yeah, for sight.
so probably alright.
Probably fine for sight.
There's a whole 12.
Okay.
14.
Okay.
That's what happens when I tell myself I'll be bad at something.
Being
Or
as
I'll
quiet
fuck
as
me.
possible. With varying degrees of success. However, you make your way forwards cautiously. Stormy doesn't make a sound. She's a cat. It's not surprising. And you do, as you approach this doorway, you realise it's actually broad. The corridor seems it's about your height. Like it's about Celestia's height, just about a little bit taller. You've been able to walk comfortably through this.
My hair's brushing the
yeah.
ceiling.
And it breaks apart. It breaks into this door. And you peer out and emerge through it, and you can see that beyond is a sort of almost antechamber or entryway. And it is bright and strangely colourful. The floors are made of smooth, like reflective stone, patterned with colourful spirals in variant and bright primary colours, divided up into different sections, giving it a kind of mosaic-ish feeling. There are 4 pillars supporting the ceiling, which to your eye look like they're made of cloudstone. They have that smooth perfection to them, but they're not white. They've been painted a sort of bright red, and slightly wider at the top.
The cloudstone used to be painted, didn't it? Is that a thing?
I think
Yeah.
that may be a thing.
Spirals were a thing in India, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. You can see.
I mean, the Achinga and their staff and the giants wouldn't be like usually.
No.
And it's these are supporting a high roof, some 30 feet, comfortably 30 feet up, with a circular sort of oculus in the ceiling, like a hole through which a warm rose golden light is making its way down. And more painted swirls and spirals and motifs covering the ceiling. The ceiling is it is brightly painted in orange and blue and red and white in many different patterns. It's actually it's on that verge of garish, but isn't quite hit it. And the walls, the top and bottom, are painted in repeating swirls and strokes, but within them are friezes depicting various, a mixture of figures and animals and pastoral scenes. towards what looks like slightly stylized rolling hills and orchards depicting some sort of tree with wide, low tree with blue leaves. And many small figures with brightly coloured skin tending to this orchard, while taller figures oversee them. And then various creatures as well. It seems to be, as far as you can tell, just a creature you've heard of, like read stories of, never seen, a winged horse. And more familiar creatures that you have seen, like griffins, images of wyverns, even a picture of a curious thing that kind of looks like a lion with like a giant scorpion tail.
That sounds cool.
Beasts, and yeah, they seem to be there's a lot going. There's various things going on, and you can see, looking back as you step in, the door you've come out of is a solid. This one actually is solid white stone door, set into an archway that goes up the full length of the wall, so the full 30 feet, and it's only the bottom part is what's broken through into the corridor beyond. There is another doorway that seems to go outwards with a currently closed door, pair of doors. Interestingly, the doors themselves are again 30 foot high and made of some sort of painted silvery wood, but they have there's a second smaller door of around more human height. I'm going to say about 8 foot tall, set into one of the two big doors, which appears to be separately able to open and close. It is currently closed, and off to one side there are a pair of double doors made of similar wood, which again are more suited sort of to human users, and seem to go into some sort of side rooms or chambers.
Well, who brought our totem all the way here? Is it maybe time to look for... Because how often can you cast the look for a thing?
That's a good point. I will say, actually,
really?
because of the totem, the door, the small human door, like the human-sized door of inside the big door, is slightly ajar.
Okay, well, actually,
Yeah.
that door's open.
And you can see some like dint marks on it, as if something impacting it.
Shall we try that one?
I think we should maybe look around a bit and see the place, but I think that might be our first place to look.
I think we should look around. I mean, what? Honestly, we just climbed for fucking ages to get here. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Could I even vaguely get a reckoning on how far we will have come in, like, as the crow flies?
I mean, you've been traveling for, you want to say, at least 3 or more miles.
Okay,
At this
right, yeah,
point.
so...
You were traveling slowly at some points, especially when going along the wall for like several hundred feet. So I'm going to say, yeah, somewhere probably 2.5 to 3 miles.
Okay. Right.
So it's taken you about an hour or so to get here.
Corzin is going to cast Primeval Awareness again.
Okay. Again, roar of the sea. Just the one. The piccolo fade trill of
That would be not the time.
of Marjorie. No cinnamon spice hint, but definitely the dull, cold echo of undeath.
Boo.
Right, still got undead.
Nah.
No fiends this time.
Okay.
And yes, there are indeed a few moths fluttering around the oculus. And I see your eyes looking up physically.
Yeah.
So as you look up, you see what appears to be evening sky above.
Oh.
That was fucking weird.
Is it real?
It's pretty.
Yeah, but is it real?
There's no
I don't know.
cloud. Yeah, you can't see clouds from here, but you can see the haze of like purplish pink.
Can I see enough of the stars to make a guess at constellations?
No stars that you can see.
Alright.
Is it a spell? Yeah, can I like... What would a check be to...
Like a large illusion spell?
Arcana to see if it's an illusion or if we're seeing into an actual place? Is it physically there or is it...
I mean, you can make an Arcana check to make a guess, but
Is there any way of seeing
you don't have to take magic cast or anything.
Not yet. I could take 10 minutes to do a bit of magic, but I'll just have some fun.
It's a dragon! It's a dragon pretending to be a sky!
What? I don't know, I'm very
I mean,
tired.
at this point, it seems as likely as anything else. This is...
No, I'd have detected
I've
a
never
dragon.
Oh,
I've
this
never
dice has
seen
rolled 2
anything
ones
like
today.
this.
It's going to fuck right off.
Are there any
I've never seen
windows?
anything like this.
Oh yeah.
Windows in this room, no. There's the big hole in the ceiling.
Are there any windows anywhere else?
So the other places, your exits are north, south, and Dennis. So
Dennis.
there's the hole in the door which leads back into the dark tunnel. There is the slightly ajar door that seems to lead outwards, and then there's the 2 doors, basically to your left, that seem to lead elsewhere within whatever. Yeah, somewhere else. They just are presumably not where. Yeah, they're not ajar.
Should we go onward?
Yeah, the one that's... let's try that one first.
Yeah.
That's just... I mean, it's open. Don't think it's got any traps, but maybe we have a little poke first.
Have a little look. Yes.
Okay.
Because I got splattered
I'll
not
do
that
that.
long ago, really.
Roll an investigation check.
Anyone want to help?
Yes.
Excellent.
I'm good at traps sometimes.
That is how maths 24.
Okay. Peering around, it does not appear to be trapped. It was. You can. In fact, it actually doesn't even appear to be locked. There doesn't appear to be a lock on this or a there is a. There's like a handle, and there is like a sliding latch, although the latch has been broken a bit by being forced open. But like not completely like shattered, broken, just like in the way of like you push a door, but it was going to open that way anyway, so it's like a little bit of scratching. Yeah, the door is not trapped, and giving it a gentle push open, you see that it opens up into a wide glade of trees.
Okay.
There is like not scattered so much as planted in concentric, evenly spaced circles around gently rolling little hillocks are scores and scores of trees. They're not a tree any of you have seen before. They
blue?
are. Sorry?
Are they blue?
They are indeed. Rising up to about 30-40 feet at their highest. They are very wide, and the leaves go quite low. And indeed they have silverish bark and white and blue leaves that are kind of like a fat diamond with like feathered edges to them. They look much like normal leaves that you've seen, but blue rather than green or red. and some of the branches have long berries on them, kind of a bit like it's a bit like blackberries, but like longer, like the really like kind of the ones that are longer than they are wide.
Yeah.
Significantly.
Can I inspect them to see if they're edible?
Yeah, give me a nature check.
Okay.
There are some low-hanging ones. You're able to reach them.
Okay, that's a dirty 20.
Taking a look, careful, breaking them in your fingers, sniffing, very careful touch to your tongue. They are tangy. They've got a bitterness to them. You feel like they're very, very tangy. It's kind of like you know when when you get like blackberries that aren't ripe yet.
Yeah.
This kind of feels like that. This feels like something you'd want to jam, maybe, or like make into a pie for preference,
Right. Yeah.
rather than necessarily eating raw. Like maybe it won't poison you to have it, but but your halfling senses are saying, yeah, cook this.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I don't think these are poisonous, but might not be the most pleasant thing to eat.
Big J.
Awesome.
This is where you wanted to send the house, right? When we stole the house. This is the place.
I mean, to the place where I put the chest. By the way, one other thing, this place is just thronging with these glowing moths.
Oh dear.
I'm not finished with the description. The moth, like they're not absolutely everywhere, but they are frequent. There are moths around, fluttering place to place. This, like, it's their natural habitat. And as it sort of Victory goes, yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting anything like this. And looks up and you see the moths fluttering around.
So this is someone else's house that got stolen before.
Maybe, yeah.
I wonder how many of them there are here.
Are they all connected?
And what's to stop people wandering between them?
Well, we just did.
Yeah, or going and finding your box if this is your box place.
I have no idea.
Well, there seems to be no way of easily navigating this space. You need to know what your position is relative to everywhere else, and I don't see that there's a way of easily being able to determine that.
You have a point. I mean, usually you navigate by something, and there's nothing here.
Exactly. So, if someone did somehow find their way here, it would be utter blind luck that they would come across anything they weren't intending to.
I don't know. I feel like there might be spells that would let you find where you're going. I don't know.
Maybe.
Victory sort of looking, just turns around looking in a circle. This glade, this glade is, you kind of peer around, it's only got a couple of, there's only two structures that you can see. The one that you just came out of, which you can see appears to mostly be the sort of entryway. And then you can see that there's a smaller building that's sort of almost attached onto the side of it, with more doorways in, actually, from this side. It's a little flatter, it's got a little domed roof to it, and it seems to be... and it's, from the outside, it's similarly painted with colourful spirals and geometric patterns, in something that feels a bit like the Achene styles that you've seen, but more rich, more involved, and deeper. Although, interestingly, there are sections that seem to have been painted with less skill than some of the others, and some lowered, especially lower to the ground around it. And this section does have windows, and windows with actual glass in as well. Smooth, clear glass.
Wow.
Very straight. and curtains, for that matter, as well. You can see there's layers of fabric behind them.
This is the first fabric we've seen here.
Uh,
I mean, outside of the house we stole.
yeah.
Okay, so
Is it a recognizable
things
style?
are preserved.
It appears to be made out. Yeah, it appears to be made out of cotton or something similar. It's and it's just color. It's actually in a pretty basic sort of tan coloring.
Hang on a minute. How is this still here with all the moths around?
It's an excellent question.
I mean, not all. Do all moths eat clouds?
Well, if they are the type of moths that eat, it's all plant matter essentially. Then either there is something about these specific curtains that they don't like, or potentially they've been treated or enchanted to make them unappetizing.
I mean, is it time I just sat down and did the casting and made the detect magic?
Honestly, it might be worth it.
I think it
Yeah,
might be-
probably worthwhile at this
Yeah.
point, Scamp, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
There is another structure at the far end of this glade. Like, and when I do say far end, I mean maybe it feels like maybe a third of a mile away. You can see another similar sort of building with a big dome to sort of dome-like structure to it. Again, brightly coloured, painted. It feels almost temple-like in its construction.
I feel like that's maybe where we need to head.
With another of
This
the
whole
huge
place is
doors.
rather picturesque in a sort of surreal nightmare kind of way.
Yeah.
One of the more Victory friends. Look at the sky.
Do I want to?
I have been.
And you look up, and
Don't
it's
really have a
all
choice.
the right colours of evening, and it's warm here as well. It's a sort of gentle, kind of Mediterranean warmth almost. There are even clouds with sunlight of like they're almost picturesque in nature, and you can see there are little streams that do seem to run in between these trees, and little bits of dew that suggest some sort of rain or similar here. But there's no sun. There are no stars. The light just seems to come from the sky. It's almost a little reminiscent of the Dreamfold, actually, in some ways, to you. But this doesn't quite have the same feel as that place. And the trees... The moths only seem to flutter... The moths flutter around these trees, but not, you notice, the trees that stretch out beyond and behind the valley, where, like this section of the glade, beyond where the gatehouse is, like backwards behind you. Because you see this glade seems to carry on, like maybe for another mile or so before the valley sort of slopes upwards into high hills beyond.
This
Weird.
place is a whole lot bigger than we expected, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose.
Sky seems fake.
Look, when you were describing the spell initially, Scamp, I was picturing a void space that was exactly sort of the right size and shape for the thing you were putting in it.
Yeah,
This
same.
is a whole other dimension.
Yeah, it's... I mean, it shouldn't have taken anything except the sphere that it was meant to take.
But this might be... I mean, just because we're figuring out how to do... You figured out how to do a box, then you figured out how to do a sphere, doesn't mean there's another level where you can't take a whole valley.
Yeah, I mean...
I could go like a little bit, then I could go a little bit and take a person, and then I could go wherever as long as I've got a circle. Like,
Yeah.
It just... like, I could make a
I mean,
little
I
bit of
have
fire
heard of-
and now everything explodes.
I mean, prior to magic, the only time I've ever heard of buildings moving is when they were literally deconstructed and moved brick by brick.
Oh, that sounds really boring.
Sounds terrible.
Oh, what a thing to
Well,
do.
It takes a long time, obviously, but
Who's got the energy?
Kings.
but think about it. The same principle here.
Probably.
If you have the ability to move certain things, all you need is time if you can do the thing ad infinitum.
Do you think the giants were visiting each other and bringing their whole fucking castles with them?
Yeah. I mean, if we could travel and just take our house with you. Yeah. Great.
I mean, I'm not the world's best historian, but the giants quite famously disappeared. Maybe this is where some of them went.
Oh, I hope not. I mean, amazing living history. Learn all the things. Oh, living history.
Let's not.
Let's not. But yeah, it's great. But I don't know that we're in the right place to have a nice conversation with some giants who have maybe been stuck in a void for a very long time. I don't know about you, but I get stuck in on a ship for too long and I get cranky.
Yeah, me too.
Well, we haven't seen any yet.
And
We've
does
seen
time
these moths.
pass here?
I don't know. But it could also be that there's not anyone here.
It might be.
But it might be that, they died and this has just got left here.
Yeah.
Because
Like
if
so many of
nobody's
the
moving
ruins.
it, maybe it just stays.
Yeah, like so many of the ruins we've already visited.
But a lot of those were destroyed in wars and things, weren't they?
Yeah.
Whereas,
But if this, when the war happened, was just in here,
yeah. I mean, if a war happened and I didn't want to fight, seems like a nice place to come.
yeah.
I can't really think of anywhere further away from a place you could be caught.
Fucking pretty as well.
Right, shall I do the detect magic thing?
I think it's probably worth it.
Yes, if you
Yeah.
would, Scamp.
Yeah, let's do
We'll
that.
cover you.
Can you do the language one?
I think I do actually know how to do that.
Just in case there's other
I
languages
think
I
I
don't
can.
know.
Yeah, I can make a one that should do something like that. I guess we've got 10 minutes if pair of you want to take a look around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why
we'll
not?
sit here and do a
Have a little
thing.
wander.
You start your ritual casting. What do you want to inspect?
Us?
Yeah, the pair of you.
Yeah, I'm just going to be sitting
Okay.
here.
Well, I don't know. In
I
10
wanna-
minutes.
I want to observe the moths a little bit more closely and see if they do look like the kind of moths that would be the type that would eat fabric.
Yeah. You give me a nature check. Celestia, in terms of things around, I mean, without going a long distance, you're
Yeah, what can I get to without going long distance?
you're right next to the structure you came in through. So the gatehouse sort of area. There's the site. There's the little house that little structure that's attached to it on one side. You haven't looked at that yet. There is more valley that stretches round the other side of the
Look at
gatehouse.
the little gatehouse.
Yeah. Okay, so
It's in
10
10.
nature.
As far as you can tell, these are regular moths, like presumably clearly magical in some way. Like, they've already shown up weekly magical, and they definitely seem to have a strange luminescence to them. You do see, peering at the trees, little cocoons here and there. They seem to feed on the trees, like the caterpillars do that make up to them. And they do seem to spin little silk cocoons of this iridescent silk.
Well, there's a whole life cycle here.
Yeah. Thing you do notice: no moths past where the gatehouse is.
Interesting.
They only seem to flutter within this central glade.
Does that mean no Mothman? Go where Mothman cannot follow.
Mothman has not yet reformed, so your senses are telling you.
Is he still
Still
discorporated?
exists, but discorporate. That's the thing you notice. Celestia, looking around, you see that there's 2 more entrances into the side buildings, both with regular doors with handles, but no locks. So,
Okay.
all right. Door number 1, door number 2.
1.
Okay. You open the room. You pick the main door in, and it leads into a slightly plainer than the elaborately decorated exterior room. It's all again made with cloudstone for the main structures, but the walls have been have been painted with simple repeating colours, and it's a kitchen. There's not really much more to say than that. It's strangely mundane for you seen. There are a series of well-made pots on a shelf on the wall. With repeated earthenware with repeating black wavy designs. There is a sink with water in it, buckets nearby made of similar silverish wood. There are just plates, drinking vessels. You find another door which leads to like a sort of pantry with some really, really old sacks of food, you would guess, which honestly have mostly spilled open and largely been eaten, presumably by moths, as well as sealed jars, sealed with wax of some sort, which, given a little sort of experimental push-pull, slosh a little.
Pickling jars?
Could be pickle, could be vinegar, could be wine, could be beer. You don't know.
Look, if there's food here, that could
Aren't
only
you
have...
looking at the moths, mate?
Yeah, this is Celestia looking around.
Sorry, I got confused where I was.
No, it's too
Ignore me.
I mean, is there taps on any of them?
There aren't taps on any of them, but if you really wanted, you could break the seal and
I want to
open
know
it.
what's in the jar, weirdly. I don't know why. It's
Yeah.
pointless, but I really
It's
want
alright.
to know.
Break the seal on one, take a sniff. It's, I mean, over time, it probably still would go off over this long, so you get the vinegarish, confused scent of what was probably once just beer. Just jars of preserved alcohol.
I really want to taste some hundreds of years old beer, and I'm going to do it, and no one can stop
Roll
me.
a con save.
Yep.
What happens if you use mending on something that's stale?
3.
Fix it.
Oh dear.
Oh, that was vile.
Wow, that sucks.
You are-
I put the lid back on.
You're poisoned for the next minute. It's just as you feel nauseous.
Yuck.
Yeah, that's
Well, I'm going to pretend I didn't do that when I see the others.
yeah, it's a little green at the gills. It was not a fun time. I'm going to say over the next 10 minutes,
Anything else interesting here?
you open a few more doors. You discover the layout of the rest of this structure. It's a home for. You find a bedroom with enough beds for 5 people of broadly human size. They appear to have been neatly made. Interestingly, the fabric of the beds and of the curtains and so on appears to be cotton or something similar. Has not been eaten by the moths, but giving it. You do sort of give it a sniff at one point, and the fabric has quite a sharp tang to it. It's like something was maybe sprayed on it a very, very long time ago. It's very faint.
Like mouldy air freshener sort of situation.
Yeah, just something that discourages the moths in some way. You're not really sure what. And you find little things. You find an outhouse, basically, of sorts that seems to go into some sort of like chute that goes down and under the ground in some way. It doesn't look exactly like a regular cesspit, but it seems there's like a running water stream that's underneath that seems to go somewhere.
Have a void pee.
Go for a pee.
Yeah.
Feels like a regular pee.
But
Pretty
it's
good.
Checking.
Carried away by the stream.
As if you wouldn't have a void pee, though.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
100%.
And and there's a side room which is full of what appears to be tools. Actually, mithril tools.
Ooh. Having them.
As well, which you are happy to know. Mostly to do with pruning and gardening.
More
Same as we
mystical
found in the
gardening
cave.
tools.
Bloody gardening tool.
You find mithril, like ludicrously valuable ancient gardening tools.
We
with
sold the last ones, didn't we?
silver
We did.
handles.
Yeah, we did.
It looks like, and things for like carefully pruning things, and also for collecting things. There's a lot of spools, not currently with anything wound around them, but like empty bobbins as well. The last thing you discover is a room which has... This was the first room you've seen with a lock on it. And it is a latch from the outside.
Can I just open it then?
You just open and pull it out. There is a room, and you're greeted by a room that at some point was probably a storeroom. There's shelving in it, but whatever it was originally has been moved out, and instead you can see stacked on the shelves are bones of humanoid creatures, similar and broadly similar to humans or elves, like not quite the same structure to them, slightly different shapes to the bones. And it looks like 4 different people were laid to rest here. From the way the bones have fallen and the remnants of wrappings around them. The wrappings have actually survived fine, more than the flesh has. They look to have been laid, like, carefully positioned and placed.
There were 5 beds, yeah?
There were 5 beds. And in the centre of this small storeroom, there is there is what seems to be a small, like, 3-foot high monolith, for want of a better word, made of cloudstone, covered in metallic glyphs in gigantic, in a similar fashion to teleport circles. And the moment you start to step towards it, you feel a sort of weirdness to you, like something pushing against you. And you look back and you notice the rainbow spirit has pulled back away from it.
What is going on with that? What's happening?
Oh, that doesn't feel good. Ooh, I don't want to get close to that.
You think we shouldn't touch that?
I feel like you could, but I'm staying over here.
What's going to happen if I touch it?
I don't know. I just don't want to get close to that, you know?
I'm going to try getting a little closer.
You get a little closer, you just feel, oh, it's deeply uncomfortable. It's like it's pushing a part of yourself back. Like you could feel like you can get your body closer, but like it's almost like you're like a bit of you can't get next to this.
Stretching.
Yeah, you can see the rainbow spirit still connected by a tether to you, but it's like
in Northern Lights when you try and get away from your demon.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
We were all thinking that, I think.
Oh yeah.
rainbow spirit does not want to get close to that monolith.
No, I'm done. Nope, just for once. No. No, thank you.
No.
Maybe we'll get one of the others to touch it who doesn't have a U. But I think I very firmly have a U, and I did not enjoy that.
Yeah. Oh.
Ow.
Wow.
That did not feel good.
Not
did
fun.
It? Let's not do that.
No.
No.
No, let's not.
Maybe Scamp or Victory can touch it.
At the end of the 10 minutes, you come out. You come out to find that Victory has finished adjusting her little handmade wand.
Rainbow spirit around me like a blanket. Alright.
Find anything?
The weird thing doesn't like spirits.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm not touching it. Don't like
Yeah,
it.
don't touch it. Okay, let's have a look at that.
Yeah,
Other than
what
that,
was
it's just a house. 5 beds and 4 dead bodies. So.
Oh, what? Just like in the beds?
No, like laid to rest elsewhere, like purposefully.
In apparently a storeroom, as far as you can tell, a storeroom that was repurposed into a burial chamber.
Yeah, like a storeroom.
Okay.
But they were wrapped, like it wasn't just random.
Interesting.
Other than that, just like a kitchen and toilet, all that shit.
So some people died, but there was still someone left to bury them.
Yeah,
presumably.
must have been.
Let's have a look at this thing you don't like then.
Burying you've got magic
carefully.
thing up, haven't you?
Yeah, got the thing, can see the things.
Yep, I've got the reading wand.
Great.
Oh, there were actually some glyphs on it, so that might be really helpful.
Oh, I might be able to read that then.
Yeah.
Oh, cracking. Yeah, either of you might be able to.
You head over to the impromptu burial chamber. Corzin, similarly to Celestia, getting too close to that monolith feels weird to you, and the ambivalent octopus and the fish spirits stay well away from it.
You're
Okay. That's. Have I felt anything like this previously?
No, you haven't. And actually, you notice, Scamp, you don't feel anything, but Lux, CD, and Friend all keep their distance from this.
What do you... Friend?
Yes?
Any inkling of what would happen if you did go near that? Obviously, in no way asking you to. I just wondered if you had a different take on it.
I'm not sure I can.
Like, you're repelled? Or if you did go near it, something terrible would happen to you? Like which of those does it feel like? The same question to you, actually, darling. Look at the Pride Spirit.
Whew, I'm not really sure. It kind of feels... It's like I don't want to get next to it, and it wouldn't be good, and if I got really close, I couldn't get any closer. Lux cuts in. Imagine it's like a wall of burning hot iron. You don't want to get close to it, and even if you were mad enough to put your hand on it, you couldn't get through it.
Right. Okay. I knew it felt bad, but I was just getting sort of abstract bad. Thought it was worth asking if anyone else had anything other than that, you know?
Friend, are you going to be alright if I get close to it?
That's a decent question.
Because we're sort of like attached a bit right now.
I'll manage, but I won't be able to lend you any assistance while you're next to it.
Good to know.
Do I have any idea what the runes on it say?
Looking at the runes, interestingly, again, they are much like the magical runes that you see, the glyphs that you've seen before. These are more like formulae than words. So you can sort of read them, but they don't 100% make sense. It's more like a systematic laying out of things. This is definitely magical glyph casting or enchantment in nature rather than warnings. But there is a base of gigantic writing around the base of the monolith, which you can read, and it does loosely say, "Keep back, ye servants of the great enemies."
Ooh. Ooh.
Servants of the great enemies.
No, strange.
I guess
Were they fighting a
giants were fighting.
battle with people with spirit-based magic?
Maybe?
Or were they
Who were
just
they
fighting
fighting?
against the spirits?
I mean, yeah, I haven't the slightest idea. Victory shrugs.
Hang on, what? We've seen other gigantic records of like an ancient war against something.
Yes.
What was it?
Was it the
Wasn't the fucking regent or something, was it?
Yancy, crap with the snake peoples. Is that one? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, did
my
we ever
giant
figure out who
history.
the giants were fighting?
You do seem to remember the Yonti being involved in that passage.
Yeah.
Oh, but they might have had spirit magic, maybe.
And you did go back and watch that one, the nosebleed cats original
Oh, yeah.
imprisonment.
Did do that, yes.
Yes.
So the giants didn't use spirit magic.
like
Well,
a toll?
they had arcane magic.
True, but like... Surely some of them must have been sighted just by sheer probability, right?
Possibly,
they
I don't know.
weren't.
Maybe not. Maybe it's.
I mean, but with... I don't know, every other kind of type of people, it's just one in every few thousand, isn't it?
Is it the same number in every type of people?
I don't know. It's
Not
never
sure.
felt particularly weighted towards one population, but then I haven't met loads of people, have I?
As far as you know from your own background growing up, it was a great frustration of the clerics of the various spider goddesses that sight didn't travel along familiar lines or anything. You couldn't like breed a line of priest queens or anything like that.
It was
just random, and consequently there were many more of slaves who were born with the sight because there were many
There's
more
just
slave
more of
people.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, so their religious structure had to be adapted to like the
Yeah.
existence of.
I mean,
yeah.
they were always pretty annoyed where I came from at how random it was.
Okay.
Like, it's not even inherited or anything.
Maybe it's something.
Yeah,
that
as far as I know, there's no rhyme or reason to it.
No, it's just every few thousand people you get some weirdo who can see stuff. And that's us too. I look at Corzin in mock pride.
He sort of
We're those
shrugs
weirdos.
with a slight nervous smile, like,
So
I feel like a lucky weirdo. Though.
maybe they just didn't. Maybe they, or that they
possible.
didn't use it if they had it.
Well, they were noted for
Don't have to
not
use it.
really having a religion as such. And a lot of spirit-based magic is tied to that.
It is seen as religious. Often.
Yeah.
evidently it doesn't have to be, but
Yeah.
but I mean, also a lot of people just think spirits are gods. Well, that's the
Well,
thing.
there's various different takes on what spirits are, depending on where you happen to be in the world, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Yeah, I mean, me and Saran had quite an interesting chat about it the other day. So I mean, if the giants were anti-religion and to them all the spirits were varying sizes of God, maybe they purposely,
Didn't use it.
yeah, maybe
I don't-
one in every 5,000 or so spirit site just went, well, nah.
I don't think I've ever heard of a type of magic that specifically counteracts the sort of magic that spirits do.
No, me neither.
That is interesting, yeah.
But I mean, just because we haven't heard of it before
That means
now,
it's
it
not
doesn't
there.
mean people didn't develop it. Hang on, wasn't there in that pyramid we went to, the scary one with the horrible fat man? Was there or was there not something at the top of it that the spirits were a bit freaked out by? Or am I making that up completely?
Trying to
There
think
was something
back now.
horrible at the top of it.
There was, you do recall something. The top of it,
It
as
wasn't
well as
quite
being
this,
like a huge,
cut and dry,
like
but
a huge cap of just solid adamantine. Just things felt weird around there.
I think that was the closest we've had to this.
What school of magic am I seeing from this thing? I'm assuming I'm seeing magic.
So looking at
Fucking
it,
weird if you aren't.
Yeah, this is magic. It's abjuration in nature.
Abjuration.
It's protective, warding type magic, and
Interesting.
with the focus on it, you can see that it extends out about 15 feet in every direction from the monolith.
Okay, you've got like 15 feet on each side. I think you don't get any closer than that.
I don't like it, don't want
Yeah,
to.
that's about the point where it starts, where the spirits are just like really unwilling to approach, and where it starts to feel wrong to enter.
It's a little bit like the
Scamp,
the
you
magic
can get
circle
close
I
without
can
feeling
make.
any weird.
I can't feel anything. I'm gonna have a closer look.
No,
Alright.
be careful, yeah?
Does this mean the giants couldn't heal at all?
or that they had other means of doing it.
I suppose potions aren't
I mean, there's
So-
healing potions, but
beyond that.
No, but do you need spirits to heal to do any kind of healing? Is genuinely? I've never used magic that doesn't have spirits in it.
as
I know
far
that
as
you can't if you're a wizard, but like,
I mean, as far as I know, it's basically potions, or go find a cleric.
oh shit, yeah, of course it is.
Or, I mean, you and Corzin both can, but that's...
And I mean, you only can with your stick,
And the stick's got an angry spirit attached. It ain't
Yeah.
happy to be involved at all.
so fucking mad, I'd imagine.
Yeah, there's the stick and the statue, and they're both not happy to be with me.
Well, I'm gonna stay back here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is.
I think me and this one are a bit too the same thing for me to go near it, to be honest.
Can you cast into it?
I don't know. Should we find out?
Just like a
Let's
little.
try.
Maybe like send a light or something.
Yeah, put a light towards it.
The sort of purple element of the rainbow spirit that creates
Yeah.
helps create the light sort of flings the light into it, and the light sort of goes in and holds, and then like the spirit bit pulls back, but the effect stays.
Okay, so I throw something over there.
That's good to know.
Yeah,
Just in case you're like, I collapse all dead and stuff, and you have to. I'm gonna get a little bit
It's a really
closer
good
and have a look.
experiment to just do if that's what you thought was going to happen.
Well, just in case, I went unconscious, that you could actually. cast
Oh,
it.
healing. Yeah. Well, I guess plan if you go unconscious is, victory, grab him, we'll heal him.
That's a good plan.
It's as good a plan as any.
I don't. Yeah, it doesn't feel right. Don't like it.
Okay. So,
Okay.
what do you want to do now?
I'm gonna get closer and have a close look at it.
Okay, you get right up next to it, have a close look. It's definitely... I need to roll an Arcana check.
I don't know if this is worth tiding or not, because I want to know stuff.
You can do.
But if it's nothing to learn, it would be a waste.
Got
Sod it.
inspiration.
I've got inspiration. Oh, is it faded?
It's now been 10 minutes because you spent 10 minutes
Have some
casting.
more.
Pachoo!
Come. That's how
Let's
it
do
works.
that. Oh god, that's not good. I'm adding a decent amount, but not a huge amount. D12. I've got loads of those and never get to use them. Oh, Christ, that's all
Oh,
bossy.
wow.
I'm doing great. It's going to be like... loads, you bugger. That's a whole 12.
Yeah, there's not much you can tell. Your gut feeling looking at how this is, the magic and how it's studied, it looks is that it feels like a miniature version of one of those huge pillars outside Fen that seem to be charged up with magic. Like, basically, it's like a massive... It's an enchanted item, fundamentally.
These are awful, awful pillars that did awful things.
Yeah.
Well, it's horrible.
It also looks like it's pretty friggin' heavy, and there's clear signs that there's drag marks on the floor for where it was clearly originally pulled in here.
Wait a minute, of course, this makes sense. The bodies. This is here to stop the bodies from being repossessed. If you don't have clerics, you don't have the ability to stop that from happening. They would have had to have
Take the
found
head
another
off.
way.
You just take the head off.
Yeah.
Well, yes, but that's a way of doing it. But if you didn't have the ability on a societal level to do it any other way, yes, that would
Or
have
if
been
you
one
just
way of
didn't
doing it.
want to routinely decapitate your family.
Generally,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
not
that's
something that you do if you have another option.
This is pretty big magic for something that small.
You say that. The big old dog and things that Corzin's got, that was a birthday present. Big
Yeah.
magic was not... It's not unusual.
That's true.
Big magic was normal.
I mean, this was a society that made gardening tools out of mithril.
Oh yeah, I found some more of those, by the way.
Oh!
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, hang on to them
Look at
then.
this fucking trowel. Look how cool it is.
Just gleaming mithril trowel.
Yeah,
So,
see, now,
you know, if we live, money. Yay!
Hooray!
now this is a good example, right? That is exceedingly valuable to us. Maybe it was common as muck to them.
Oh, must have been. Unless everyone we've come across was ridiculously rich. I suppose maybe everyone we've come across has been ridiculously rich, because that's maybe what survived.
Possibly, or
Maybe that's got the expensive magic protecting it.
Yeah.
well, even just think about the stone, the materials used to create half of these structures. This would be really, really difficult to come by and hard to mine for us. But maybe for them it was really easy. It was like the most readily available material they could use.
Maybe they were just really good at shit in ways that we weren't, so they could get the good shit.
Well, I
If you're
remember
good at
hearing.
shit, you can get the good shit.
I remember hearing stories, and I'm sure they were a load of rubbish, but stories once about a city far off in Ferranon where gold was so prevalent that they used it basically to make drain pipes and to tile roofs and things, like we would use lead.
That was wild.
Yeah. But I suppose...
If it's what
Like-
you got.
Yeah.
If you were in a situation where gold were as common and as easy to work as lead, maybe that would be the thing that you would use.
Yeah, it could be.
So this here maybe that is just the means by which they stop their dead from rising.
Does it also keep them away, do you think?
Well,
Like, is
we know
Mothman
that-
likely to burst in on us again?
Well, that's a good point, actually. We ought to look around and see if there are any more of these. Because, as difficult as it might be for us with spirits to get near them, it also perhaps means that we've got another element of protection from whatever the Mothman is.
Mothman's ridiculous is what the Mothman is, but...
I think you're right, though. We found all we can here.
Yeah, let's keep moving.
Let's move on.
I mean, I thought my made-up name was dumb, you know? Actually, no, I thought my made-up name was magnificent. I'm lying. Anyway, let's continue.
But wow, like that's an amazing that a magical effect would last that long.
Yeah.
I never really thought about how long things last in terms of magic.
Where should we go
Well,
next,
I can
then?
do only lasts for a little while, and okay, I'm, not the most magically gifted person I know, but still, it. Even for like you think about the enchantments we have on the ship, that had to be done by a specialist.
I think the longest I can do is let's do kind of like cocks the head to the side. Oh fuck, like a year actually.
I mean,
I only
That's
do one
Ancestors,
person.
that's a fucking long time.
Yeah, only to one person though, and it's really creepy.
I mean, equally
yeah.
though, this all looks like it's sort of like enchanted items. And
But
those,
they just last.
from what I've heard, they last until they break.
yeah.
They tend to last a lot longer. I mean, like the sanctum on board our ship. Fuck, mum. Not going to think about that.
You know, I wouldn't. I'm trying not to think about anyone outside until we have some sort of solution.
Well,
I'm
anyway,
trying really hard not to think
Yeah.
that time might be moving differently out there.
Oh wow. Okay, I'm not going to think about that. Anyway, the sanctum on board the ship. I mean, that's been there for years. As long as the
I'm sorry, I just clanged my glass against the radiator.
okay.
That was the scariest noise.
and that's been there for years. I mean, Mum put that into place, but it's soaked into the timbers. Unless it gets destabilized, it'll stay, and for as long as the ship does. And I've heard that some of the dwarf-made ones, so long as you can get the actual enchantment anchor back, unless that breaks, they could last decades.
I wonder how long this has been here.
I don't know.
I mean, I think the donkey's dead and gone on donkey's years.
Yeah. So, which bit do we want to do next?
Let's.
Do we want to go back in and have a look at the other rooms, or do we want to go ahead and look at that other building?
You've pretty thoroughly explored the interior of the structure. You could always
Cool.
go around and look at the other side of it if you wanted.
Let's
But
follow where the thing we want to find. What's it called?
The totem.
Totem.
Yes.
Thank you.
Let's
I
go
wanna
that
know
way.
where that went.
okay.
That seems like the most sensible option.
You venture onwards into the valley, and your journey is pretty much unassailed for the next third of a mile you're going. But there is a brief moment in the very centre of these concentric circles of trees. There's one that is a little larger than the rest, about twice the size actually. It goes up to about 60 feet in height, with a thick trunk. And at the base of it, there is a small pile of bones, slightly kind of no longer in position. They've fallen down over time, but you can see once propped up against the tree, looking out over the valley, the streams, the countryside. Someone came here and passed. Their clothing has what remains of their clothing is still there, actually, presumably sprayed with the same substance or enchanted in the same way as the other fabrics to not just be consumed by moths, but entangled up in the bones. And there is also a necklace of silvery material tangled up with the chest, sort of the bones around the chest and what was once a plain tunic, which is focused around a small pendant which is deeply marked, just like covered densely with gigantic glyphs. Do any of you approach it?
Yes.
Yeah.
As you get close, Corzin, you feel that same sort of sensation when
Same
you get within
thing.
about 5 feet, and your spirits pull back.
I'm guessing this must be a smaller version of what that monolith was for.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels weird.
Okay. I can have a little look, but I don't read. So can't. Beatrice, can you have a little look?
Yeah.
Can you hold it up so I can see it at least?
Yeah, and let's both take a look. Holding up the light. Again, it's mostly glyphs in nature, but Scamp, you're able to pick it up. You see Corzin, you see Scamps tag along and sort of like keep their distance from it. This one doesn't have any writing on it, it's all markings. It's all just arcane glyphs, but the effect is clearly the same but smaller in radius. It just seems to be a level of personal protection.
Well, I think we can safely say it's the reason why there's no undead around here.
Yeah. So, some people got trapped here and died. Do we think they got cut off because of the war?
Maybe. It feels like it would make sense, doesn't it?
This isn't someone who intended to die here.
No, it wasn't.
Doesn't look like
it. Wasn't like a place, like a tomb.
No.
It was a store cupboard.
It'd been like treated to be nice, but it was not the intention. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like whoever this was the last one alive.
Yeah.
Actually, at the distance I'm at, can I at least make a guess at what the cause of death was?
Medicine check.
Okay. Okay, that is a 17.
From the way the bones have shaped, little hints here and there, brittleness of them, old age.
Well, it doesn't look like this person, whoever they were, died violently or of starvation, privation, or anything. I'd have to look at the other ones, but maybe it was just old age. Yeah.
So they were stuck here.
Quite possibly.
Wow. Oh, it's really sad.
It is really sad.
Yeah.
Do you think they knew when they came here they wouldn't be able to get back?
If we can find some other writings, if there are any other around here, that might answer some questions for us.
Yeah. Let's keep looking. Maybe someone left a. I mean, if I was stuck here, I would write a diary just in case.
Yeah.
You kind of looking at the body. If they wrote anything down, whatever materials they wrote on were not protected against the moths.
Nothing here, at least, anyway.
Nothing here, at least, and nothing that you could find within the house. You
The
carry
bits where the moths don't go, aren't there? Somewhere.
yes, beyond about a third of a mile out from this central tree in every direction.
So
The
once
moths
we
just don't
get to
proceed.
those bits, maybe we'll see something.
I mean, there's nothing. There's no
else
other
else?
structures beyond that sort of third of a mile out point. On one end of that sort of radius is the gateway house, with the little sort of little house attached to it. At the other end is the house slash temple sort of structure you're making your way towards. And that's it. There are no other structures in this valley. Also, in the time you've been here, the quality of the light hasn't significantly changed.
Good to know.
It's still just permanent, just with not quite sunset, even golden rosy evening.
Okay, let's carry on. Let's get to see what else there is to see.
You travel onwards for the rest of the 1/6 of a mile until you find the tall, again with bright red pillars supporting it, temple-like structure of a building. This again has huge double doors with a smaller door, and this one has been banged open. And within it, you can hear a sort of sound.
What is that?
Like a sort of clonking or moving sound. Something clonking against something else.
Is that the thing where...
And there are a lot of moths clustered on the exterior of this building or fluttering in through the windows. And this building does have windows, but they're high up.
Because if it was me and I had this place, there was a danger of getting trapped. I'd want some way that if anyone came here, the things they need would be drawn to me. Like a totem to get back.
That does make sense.
Guess we've got to go look.
Yeah.
Check the traps on the door.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
Help, please.
Yes.
I will assist you.
Always.
Oh, thank God you assisted me because one of them was a 1. That is a 19.
Okay, the door does not appear to be trapped, and it isn't, and the at least the small door, and it is wide open. You are at least the door doesn't appear to be trapped on purpose, because as you stare inside, as you peer inside, you can see the center of this entryway has a wide sort of atrium chamber within it. Similarly decked out with supporting columns and brightly coloured friezes and patterning to the gatehouse. But at the centre of it is something almost reminiscent of the industrial looms that you've seen in the factories of Thunder's Watch. It's a strange machine of bronze with many limbs and what seem to be combs and hand-like claws and grips. Spinning around it, but not structured but structured like a tree.
Oh, cool.
Like a tree that spirals up from the center and has many branches that might once have moved independently. You can see places where joints are designed to articulate and turn and all of these joints are ringed with glyphs, interconnecting glyphs in gigantic. And the interior of this chamber is covered with moths, as around the center of it and the base there's almost like a shallow bowl filled with cocoons or pieces of broken, of like pulped up tree leaf and bark from these trees. Some parts of this tree still try to move. You can see rollers that pick, you can see things that pick leaves and shunt them in, rollers that grind them up into a paste and deposit them onto the ground, where the little grubs seem to feed on them and turn into cocoons. But other parts are broken, bent out of shape, caught up in a strands of silk. As you can see now, this whole thing was somehow meant to capture the iridescent silk of these silkworms, to harvest the cocoons and turn them into neat bolts. You can actually see along the walls there are spools of this silk wrapped into place. But at some ancient time in the distant past, the machine broke, and now there are strands of silk in every direction, like a massive web or like a cat's cradle, spinning through the whole room. And up in the center of it, tied in place, bound and wrapped, almost mummy-like amongst the many strands, is the body of the Mothman.
Oh dear.
And Corzin, you feel that coalescence of the Mothman coming together.
Okay, I cast protection from good and evil on myself.
As you cast the spell, gaining that protection around you, feeling the sort of spirits flutter around you to grant you protection, you see the moths all join in, swirling into a column and spreading his wings as the ancient mechanical tree comes to life and starts spinning these strands of silk around it. Is the ghostly form that proclaims, "I am vengeance. I am the night.
Oh, for pity's sake!
I am Mothman." And we will pick up with that fight next time. Thank you all very much for listening. Thank you all very much for playing. And farewell from all of us here at Flintlocks and Fireballs, Fair Seas and Natural 20s. And I can breathe in space.
We stretch across the black abyss while Mothman taunts with vengeful fists to reach a secret treasure trove within the void, a quiet grove.
So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinea. No kraken, storm or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.